Chapter 1786. Genro looked at Taoist Master Blueheart, but the latter was still immersed in the joy of winning the first place. He did not take Yi Chun seriously at all. After all, although Yi Chun had a breakthrough, he was not valued because of his ordinary talent with 4 spiritual roots. How would she know that this person was Yi Chun, who had killed everyone in the disaster zone? Genro felt slightly pained. She had a special impression of Yi Chun, the disciple who had just joined the sect. After all, she respected him for his hard work and steady cultivation. They returned to the Qingling sect and met the Yunshan sect leader. Sect leader Dong Xian didn't let us down. She led the Qingling sect to win the first place among the 4 sects. Taoist Master Blueheart stepped forward and said to the Yunshan sect leader, "That's great." As expected of someone with a mutated spiritual root, the Yunshan sect leader was overjoyed. He gave Dong Xian many magic treasures and natural treasures, which made everyone envious. At the same time, many disciples were in love with Dong Xian. After all, her figure, appearance, and talent were top-notch. Who would not love such a beauty? Rumble. The outer sect shook. Taoist Master Blueheart looked sideways. Everyone was shocked. Someone broke into the Qingling sect. "Everyone, follow me." Yes. Taoist Master Blueheart flew out of the mountain gate after saying that. At that moment, a middle-aged woman in a Taoist robe fainted outside the mountain gate. Perfected Master Blue Lotus? Taoist Master Blueheart recognized the woman in the Taoist robe immediately. The elders were shocked. Perfected Master Blue Lotus was the sect leader of the Pill River sect, with a cultivation base of advanced stage golden core. How could she be so severely injured for no reason? Moreover, she had fainted before the Qingling sect's mountain gate. That was even more suspicious. Taoist Master Blueheart flew over and pointed his sword at Perfected Master Blue Lotus's glabella. A stream of spiritual energy entered her glabella and slowly circulated. ZZZ. Subsequently, Perfected Master Blue Lotus slowly regained consciousness. She seemed to be in a panic and even looked terrified. The popular people of the Qingling sect were shocked. What exactly could make the sect leader of the Pill River sect so terrified? Perfected Master Blue Lotus said while grabbing Taoist Master Blueheart's robe. "Taoist Master Blueheart, the Beast Trainer sect has violated the alliance of the 4 sects and attacked the Pill River sect. Please save the Pill River sect." What? Taoist Yunshan was shocked. The expressions of the elders behind him changed at the same time. This was a very serious matter. The Beast Control sect was also one of the 4 sections. Although they didn't have a good relationship with each other, how could they dare to attack the Pill River sect? Was he not afraid that the 3 sects would join hands to deal with him? Taoist Yunshan was a little suspicious. He said, "Taoist Qinglian, your Pill River sect has 2 Grand Supreme Elders. How could they not be able to resist?" The people of Green Lotus Town said with fear on their faces, "The ancestor of the Beast Trainer sect, King of Human Mastery, has stepped into the soul formation stage. He can no longer hide his ambition. He wants to unify the entire Green Province." What? He had entered the soul formation stage. With that, Taoist Yunshan was completely shocked. He had already understood the seriousness of the matter. One had to know that there was no soul formation cultivator in the entire Qing province. Even the grand elders of the 4 sects were only at peak nascent soul stage. This wasn't just a matter of the Pill River sect. It was very likely that the other 3 sects would suffer as well. A soul formation patriarch was too terrifying. "Immediately," informed the grand elder immediately. Taoist Yunshan shouted. Yes. Someone flew to the back of the mountain. However, before he could take a few steps, the 3 Grand Supreme Elders came uninvited. They were obviously alarmed. "Grand Supreme Elders, we are useless. You have to come personally." Taoist Yunshan went forward to apologize. "Say no more." A Grand Supreme Elder called Qing Chen shook his head slightly, looking troubled. If what Perfected Green Lotus said was true, then he would probably arrive at the Green Spirit sect very soon. "I didn't expect the King of Human Mastery to be so crazy." He actually wants to unify the Green Province. He has wild ambitions. Another Grand Supreme Elder said, "This person has been harboring evil intentions for a long time. However, because his cultivation level wasn't high enough, he kept it a secret. Now that he has broken through to the soul formation stage, he seems to have made a name for himself. How should we deal with him?" The third Grand Supreme Elder asked. Qing Chen shook his head slightly. "Senior brother Qing Chun, what do you mean?" The other two asked. "The Green Spirit sect is in danger," Qing Chun said with a horrified expression. As soon as he said that, thunder rumbled in the sky, and dark clouds pressed down on the city. A trembling voice sounded in the sky. "Qing Chun, you are not stupid after all. What is that?" Everyone looked up into the sky. Someone looked closely and was almost scared to death. Inside the dark clouds, a flying centipede was circling in the sky. It was emitting an infinite amount of evil energy. Even the completion-leveled elders were fearful. The centipede hissed, and the sky shook. The surrounding space was invaded by this evil energy. Many disciples fell into it and couldn't get out. Screams of agony were heard, sending chills down everyone's spine. That is the red flame centipede, the king of human mastery's mount. Since it is here, the king of human mastery must be on it. Qing Chunzi gasped and immediately ordered, "There is nowhere to retreat. Activate the defensive array of the sect. Everyone, prepare for battle." Yes. The three Grand Supreme Elders stood in front of the red flame centipede. Taoist Yun Shan led the other elders and flew out. They occupied the 7 positions of the stars and activated the defensive array of the sect. Taoist Yun Shan was the first to activate his qi and guided the 7 stars to their positions. At the same time, the other elders praised him and released the power of the 7 stars. The defensive array of the sect was extremely powerful. The other sect members all stood under the defensive array and activated their qi to support the array. Boom, boom, boom. Just then, thunder rumbled in the sky again. The giant red flame centipede descended like a meteor. Many silhouettes walked out from the body of the centipede. The one in the lead was a middle-aged man in his 30s or 40s. He wore a red robe and walked with a majestic gait. As he walked, his qigong shook the heaven and earth. This person was the ancestor of the Imperial Beast sect, the king of human mastery. This aura. I'm afraid he has really stepped into the transformed God realm. Although Qing Chunzi had already received the news, he was still shocked when he felt the power. He couldn't help but ask, "Fellow Taoist king of human mastery, I wonder why you have come to the Green Spirit sect today?" Just as the people of the Green Spirit sect were waiting for the king of human mastery to speak, a person suddenly appeared behind them. He was arrogant and had a cold expression. Everyone looked closely and saw that it was Lei Kan. He took a big step forward and sneered at the people of the Green Spirit sect. "Of course I'm here to exterminate the Green Spirit sect." "Arrogant, junior nephew. You shouldn't be like this," Qing Chunzi said. "Arrogant? Haha, you really won't shed a tear until you see the coffin." Lei Kan faced Qing Chunzi and said without any courtesy, "Let me tell you a piece of unfortunate news. Before you came, the Pill River sect and the Blazing Sun sect had already been exterminated." The people of the Green Spirit sect were shocked when they heard that. P.S. Dear readers, I only have 1 chapter today. Because I was away on a business trip, it took me 5 hours to drive back and forth. I only wrote 1 chapter when I got home. I can only update once. Chapter 1787. Frost's Secret Realm, the Eye of the Storm. Yichen's surroundings were covered in snow and wind. The entire space was shaking violently. In such an extreme environment, Yichen was determined. He only had one goal. It was the Frost Spirit Ice core in the center of the storm. Sensing Yichen's approach, the spiritual Frost Spirit Ice core began to react. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The frost storm swept across the land. It was more than 10 times stronger than before. Looks like you're going to resist me too. Yichen's eyes turned cold. He knew that he did not have much time left. The Frost Secret Realm was supported by the Psyche Core before him. Going against the Psyche Core was equivalent to going against the entire Frost secret realm. If anything went wrong, the consequences would be dire. Kacha, kacha, kacha. At this moment, a cold light appeared in the eye of the storm. Under the blinding light, the Frost Spirit Ice Core appeared. It's here. Yichen stepped forward with energy flowing in his body. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The powerful storm tried to stop him, but Yichen was too determined. There was no way to stop him. Dong, dong, dong. Every step he took left a deep footprint on the ice. At the same time, the ice began to shatter and the earth below shook. The Frost Spirit Ice Core appeared. Behind the storm, the ice river surged. The Frost Spirit Ice River appeared at the same time. The water rose automatically and surrounded the Frost Spirit Ice Core like a water dragon, protecting the treasure. Roar! The water dragon roared and attacked Yichen. Countless pieces of ice shattered and strengthened the water dragon. The spiritual nature of heaven and earth was evident. The treasure of heaven and earth belongs to me. Yichen was furious. He crossed his arms in front of him, and the immortal slaying flying saber kept flashing. Chi, chi, chi. The blade flashed, and the ice shattered. However, the shattering did not stop the Frost Spirit Ice Core. Instead, it became even crazier. Roar! At the same time, the three water dragons attacked, trying to swallow Yichen. Divine Punch created in 33 days. Void Quake. Yichen stomped on the ground and shattered the ice layer. He flew up and punched with both fists. Rumble! Kacha, kacha, kacha! Immediately, an invisible force shook the air. The entire space was compressed rapidly, and the three water dragons were restrained. Emperor Brush. At the same time, Yichen charged forward quickly, and the Emperor Brush appeared in his hand again. Z, Z, Z. In the blink of an eye, several golden characters appeared in midair. Destroy, exterminate, open. Hoo. At the same time, Yichen spat out the true Samadhi fire from his mouth. With the support of the two powers, even the Frost Spirit Ice Core, that was filled with spirituality, could not resist it. Boom, boom, boom. All the defenses were destroyed. The Cold Spirit's Ice Core wanted to escape, but Yichen caught it in his hand. Ha ha ha. Finally, he had obtained the last key to the ancient god body. In the Green Spirit Sect, Imperial King, you have wild ambitions, actually daring to wipe out two great sects. Qing Chenzi was furious. Ha ha ha. Qing Chenzi, you already know that the Green Spirit Sect will be annihilated today. Why do you still ask? Imperial Monarch laughed domineeringly, as if he didn't see them as human beings anymore. Everyone from the Green Spirit Sect was shocked. They all understood that today was the day of the sect's calamity. Even if I don't want to make a move today, I still have to. I've been in seclusion for a long time. Today is the day. Qing Chenzi said to the other two Grand Elders. Since that's the case, let's fight. The three Grand Elders of the Green Spirit Sect attacked Imperial Monarch at the same time. Ha! So what if the three of us attack at the same time? Imperial Monarch laughed hysterically again when he saw the three of them attacking at the same time, as if he didn't take them seriously at all. Roar! Imperial Monarch took a step forward, and the crimson flame centipede under his feet roared. Countless bloody black energy appeared in the sky like a mist, shrouding the entire place. This blood mist is very strange. Don't underestimate it. Qing Chenzi said. The three of them waved their whisks at the same time, trying to get rid of the blood mist. However, the blood mist became thicker and thicker. There was no way to get rid of it. Pure spirit holy technique, sweeping heaven and earth. Seeing that, Qing Chenzi used his great divinity. All the spiritual energy in his body gathered on his right hand, and he waved his whisk again. A giant shadow of the whisk appeared in the sky and swept at the blood mist. The majestic energy shook the heaven and earth and broke the space. The wind blew and the blood mist retreated. Oh, interesting. Imperial Monarch looked interested and activated the secret spell. When the blood mist dispersed, the crimson flame centipede opened its giant mouth, and countless small centipedes flew out. Qing Chenzi was shocked and waved his whisk again. Is it that easy? However, Imperial Monarch sneered, and the crimson flame centipede swung its tail. Boom! The giant stinger was aimed at Qing Chunzi. Oh no! Qing Chunzi turned pale with fright. He wanted to push it away, but the stinger was already there. Puff! With a sudden sweep, Qing Chunzi's figure was instantly sent flying. Qing Chunzi. The other two were shocked and attacked at the same time, trying to kill the crimson flame centipede. Ha ha! How dare you be so arrogant in front of me with your petty tricks? Imperial Monarch activated the secret spell again. Countless small centipedes entangled the two powerful cultivators like a storm. Chi, chi, chi. The centipedes tore at them, making them bleed. Retreat. The two could no longer fight and retreated. At this moment, the three Grand Elders of the Green Spirit Sect were injured at the same time and were in great pain. The Green Spirit Sect is a bunch of good-for-nothings. Lakin stepped forward and said, "Don't talk nonsense. Die." Taoist Yinshan couldn't take it anymore and flew out. Humph! Even the three Grand Elders were defeated by me. How dare a mere sect leader be so presumptuous? Imperial Monarch snorted and urged the small centipede to attack again. Yinshan Palm. Elder Yinshan knew how powerful this person was, so he didn't hold back and attacked with all his strength. Boom, boom, boom. The palm energy pierced through the air and exploded repeatedly. Countless small centipedes exploded in the sky, turning into a bloody mist. However, the blood mist gradually thickened and stuck to the sect leader of the Cloud Mountain. What? Taoist Yunshan was shocked. The energy in his body surged as he tried to disperse the blood mist. However, he realized that the blood mist could actually hinder the circulation of his spiritual energy. Such an effect was shocking. Ha ha! You can't run away anymore. How dare you kill my small centipede? Die! Imperial Monarch controlled the Crimson Flame centipede and dashed over. Crimson Flame, Poison Palm. The mountain shook and the ground shook. The palm energy hit the sect leader of the Cloud Mountain accurately. Ah! He let out a scream as the poisonous gas attacked his heart. Taoist Yunshan's body was trembling. His bones and meridians were all broken, corroded, and turned into dust. Ah! Everyone was shocked to see this scene. Sigh, there's no other way. I can only ask for the portrait of the ancestral master to save the day. Qing Chenzi took out the treasure box and opened it himself. Z. Light shone, and a powerful true essence appeared in the sky. The Imperial Monarch narrowed his eyes and looked at the portrait with a hint of fear. This is the portrait of the Green Spirit Sect's ancestral master, Imperial Monarch. Why don't you back off? The portrait of the ancestral master released a powerful intent. Everyone felt weak and knelt down automatically. End of this chapter. Chapter 1788. The Imperial Monarch sneered as everyone knelt down and worshipped the portrait. Soul formation intent? Unfortunately, if the real ancestor Qingling came back to life, I would have to retreat. Unfortunately, it's just a portrait after all. Hearing this, everyone from the Qingling sect revealed a terrified expression. Could it be that the Imperial Human King could even destroy the portrait of their ancestor? While they were still thinking, they had already taken action. Break! The Imperial Monarch controlled the Crimson Flame centipede and flew into the sky, slamming down with his palm. Boom! The world shook and the sun and moon dimmed. At this moment, only the palm of blood mist was descending. The portrait sensed the incoming power and emitted a golden light, trying to counter it. However, the palm carried the extremely powerful blood mist of the Crimson Flame centipede. It wasn't something the portrait could counter. The golden light was shattered and the portrait disappeared. Ha ha ha! Only the madman's laughter shocked everyone. He actually managed to destroy the Patriarch's portrait. What should we do? The Imperial Monarch is invincible. Everyone from the Qingling sect fell into deep despair as if everything was over. What awaited them was the call of death. The Imperial Monarch rode the Crimson Flame centipede to the front of the crowd. The centipede was as tall as a mountain. Everyone was trembling under the Imperial Monarch's feet like ants. The imperial monarch sized up everyone and said, I will destroy the Qingling sect today. I will give you a chance. Those who want to join the Beast Trainer sect can avoid death. Everyone was shocked. They didn't expect the imperial monarch to kill people. However, as soon as these words were spoken, many disciples of the Green Spirit sect looked at each other, revealing expressions of interest. Do you want me to wait for you? Seeing that everyone was still hesitating, the imperial monarch roared and his aura shook the surroundings. Everyone was shocked and made up their minds. Finally, someone stood up and knelt on the ground. Senior, I am willing to join the Beast Trainer sect. Hearing this voice, everyone was shocked. It was Song He, an inner disciple of the Qingling sect. He was one of the best in the Qingling sect, but he was the first to surrender to the Beast Trainer sect. Bastard, how many resources did the Qingling sect give you? How dare you join the enemy? The person who cursed was Song He's master, Taoist priest Rockwind. He was about to kill Song He. Kill! Strong winds howled around Taoist Yin Feng as he sped away. Seeing this, Song He turned pale with fright and crawled toward the imperial monarch. Since he knelt before me, you don't have the right to kill him. The imperial monarch snorted coldly. The scarlet flame centipede's eyes turned scarlet as it spat out an infinite amount of poisonous mist toward Taoist Rockwind. Rock shield. Seeing this, Taoist Rockwind hurriedly released a rock shield to resist the poisonous mist. Chi. However, this blood mist was actually wildly corroding the rock shield, and in the blink of an eye, it had already pierced through. Blood mist filled the air as Taoist Rockwind's figure entered it. Then they heard a blood-curdling scream, which made everyone's hearts palpitate. When the blood mist scattered, Taoist Rockwind, who wanted to kill Song He, had already turned into bones. Senior brother Song, I didn't expect you to be such a person. It wasn't easy for the sect to nurture you, but in the end, you actually want to betray the sect. Zhen Ro's charming face was ashen as she questioned. Song He crawled to his feet and smiled disdainfully. As the saying goes, every man for himself. Since the Green Spirit sect is no good, do you think I'm not allowed to join the more powerful beast-controlling sect? Zhen Ro and the others were enraged, but there was nothing they could do. The imperial monarch laughed out loud. Very good. Does the beast-controlling sect accept you? I will ask again. Is there anyone else who wants to join the beast-controlling sect? Song He was ecstatic as he ran to the beast-controlling sect's camp. Finally, people started to walk towards the Green Spirit sect's camp. I want to join the beast-controlling sect. Me too. In a few breaths' time, more than half of the Green Spirit sect's disciples had joined the beast-controlling sect's camp. Among them, there were even completion-leveled elders. Shameless bastard. At this moment, only Zhen Ro, Dong Xian, and Taoist Blue Heart remained unmoved. They vowed to live and die with the sect. The three senior elders of the Green Spirit sect were heavily injured. Blood was dripping from their wounds, but they were powerless. There really are some tough bones. However, these two small bones do have some talent. Seeing Zhen Ro and Dong Xian, the imperial monarch grinned. Riding on his flaming centipede, he walked to the front and looked down at the two. You two have great talent. One has a water-based heaven spiritual root. The other has a mutated ice spiritual root. If you two are willing to join the beast-controlling sect, I will accept you as my apprentices. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. At the same time, Song He, who joined the beast-controlling sect before, revealed a look of jealousy. He was the first to join the beast-controlling sect, but now he had become a nobody. It was as if the imperial monarch didn't value him at all. Dong Xian and Zhen Ro, on the other hand, were the ones the imperial monarch valued. Damn it! Song He clenched his teeth. Before them, everyone from the Green Spirit sect shook their heads. The imperial monarch was the only undefeatable leveled cultivator in Qingzhou. To be accepted as his apprentice was a great fortune. On top of that, they could avoid death. Nobody would reject a deal like this. I reject. I reject as well. Seeing how the two of them rejected the imperial monarch one after another, everyone was confused. Are they really seeking death? Did we hear it wrong? What reason do they have to reject us? Yeah, I cannot believe that when the Green Spirit sect is about to be destroyed, there are still people who are so persistent. What a shame, two beauties. Many people felt bad for the two of them. Such a great opportunity was rejected. The imperial monarch originally wanted to welcome them with a smile, but his face froze. Why? I will give you a chance to explain. Genro mocked. The Green Spirit sect adopted me, trained me, and many elders treat me like family. This is my home. Why would I abandon the sect? The imperial monarch's face turned ugly. He looked at Dong Xian again. What about you? Dong Xian's expression was cold. I am the same as senior sister Genro. Two lunatics, no wonder. They are dead. The crowd discussed among themselves. Genro, Dong Xian, you did well. Master Blueheart and the other elders all supported them. Very good, very good. The imperial monarch laughed out of anger. If that's the case, you guys shall be destroyed along with the Green Spirit sect. One of the three supreme elders of the Green Spirit sect, Qing Qinzi, was unwilling. Imperial monarch, for what you did today, someone will definitely do the same to you in the future. Ha ha ha. The imperial monarch laughed in disdain. Who can kill me? At that moment, a calm voice echoed in the air. I can kill you. As soon as the voice was done speaking, everyone looked toward the source of the voice. They saw a young man around 16 or 17 years old slowly walking toward them from the entrance. Seeing the young man, Genro and Dong Xian were stunned. Junior Brother Gu, you not dead? Dong Xian was surprised and happy to see Yi Chen arrive. End of chapter. Chapter 1789. The imperial monarch was startled to see a person wearing an outer disciple's uniform walking in from outside the Green Spirit sect. Junior, what did you just say? The imperial king's face was livid. His tone was heavy and threatening. Yichen walked over slowly and said, I can kill you. Ha ha ha. Everyone burst into laughter. Lei Kan and Song, he almost fell over laughing like clowns. In order to please the imperial monarch, Song even took the initiative to introduce, Senior, this guy is a new outer disciple of our Qingling sect. He has 4 spiritual roots. A loser with 4 spiritual roots? Ha ha ha. Imperial monarch laughed heartily at the same time. He didn't expect that he, an expert who had annihilated all the major sects, would actually be threatened by a good-for-nothing brat. A mere outer sect disciple who wasn't even at the Foundation establishment realm declared that he wanted to kill a divine lord at the soul formation stage. That was ridiculous. This was something that everyone knew, but Yi Chen had said it out loud. Sigh, my mood is good to save the sect, but I don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Isn't this just sending myself to death? Such actions are truly like clay oxen entering the sea. Not even their bones remain. The people from the Qingling sect shook their heads one after another. They did not want to see Yi Chen die, but what else could they do now that things had come to this? Genro shouted, Junior Brother Gu, run. Where are you going? Lakin scoffed and stood up. He charged at Yi Chen. Master, leave this brat to me. I'll torture him to death. Help Junior Brother Gu fan. Dong Xian and the rest attacked one after another in an attempt to save Yi Chen. After all, Lei Kan was a beast-controlling sect genius who had awakened a mutated spiritual root. How could Yi Chen be his match? Do you all see me as nothing? However, just as he was about to make his move, a powerful aura suppressed the entire area. Genro, Dong Xian, and the others felt powerless, and they were rooted to the spot. They could only worry helplessly. There was nothing they could do. Ha ha ha. This is the result of persisting. Song He and the rest who had surrendered to the Beast Trainer sect laughed out loud. They then looked at Yi Chen as if they could foresee his tragic end. At that moment, Lei Kan stopped Yi Chen with a murderous aura. A few cultivators from the Beast Control sect stepped forward to watch the battlefield. Senior Brother Lei Kan has awakened a variant spiritual root, while this loser only has a quadruple spiritual root. They are worlds apart. That goes without saying. Senior Brother Lei Kan's strength is obvious to all. Let's see how this brat dies this time. A trash with 4 spiritual roots actually didn't run. I don't know if there's something wrong with his brain or if he's scared out of his wits. Let's see how Senior Brother will tear him apart. The few cultivators were praising Lei, Kan, and belittling Yichun. On the battlefield, Lei Kan's attacks were ruthless and merciless. Brat, go to hell. Lightning flickered all over Lei Kan's body. The powerful lightning energy was like a venomous python that wanted to devour Yichun directly. However, in the next moment, he was stunned because his lightning had already struck Yichun, but why did he not move at all? Such lightning can only tickle me. Suddenly, Yichun's eyes turned cold. The immortal slaying light was released from his hands. Whoosh! The saber light was so fast that it couldn't even blink. Chi! There was a slashing sound, and fresh blood spurted out. Lei Kan felt his vision blur, and then his vision turned upside down. He seemed to have seen heaven and earth inverted, and people were everywhere. Plop! As a thud came, Lei Kan's head flew high into the air before everyone's eyes. His eyes were wide open, and he died with a grievance. Subsequently, Lei Kan's body fell onto the ground. The heavens and the earth fell into a deathly silence. Everyone was dumbfounded, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. What? It was the same for Zhenrou and Dong Xian. Gu Fan had killed Lei Kan with a single attack. One must know that Lei Kan had awakened a mutated lightning spiritual root. He was the most outstanding disciple of the beast-controlling sect. He was also the Imperial King's direct disciple, and his cultivation base was on foundation building. Yet, he was killed by junior brother Gu Fan? Something's wrong with this brat. The Imperial King's expression was grim as he glared at Yichun. He said to the people around him, "Go and test him." Huh. Sect leader, I've just arrived. I haven't done anything yet. I'll kill this brat to avenge the beast-controlling sect. Sure. The Imperial King nodded lightly. The core formation elder flew to Yichun. Gu Fan, it's your bad luck to bump into me today. Cut the crap. Die. You. The elder was enraged, and energy exploded from his body. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The space around them was spinning rapidly. The true origin energy was like an unstoppable flood. Heaven and earth inverted, lightless sun and moon. Yin-yang chaos palm. The elder roared in rage. He moved his palms back and forth, performing all sorts of hand seals. His speed was shocking. The people around were in awe. That's the yin-yang chaos palm. The true origin energy is spinning and chaotic. Nobody can break through it. This man is vicious to use such a powerful palm technique on an outer disciple. That's right. Gu Fan's meridians will be broken if this chaotic true origin energy hits him. It's devastating. Sigh. I can't believe that such a stubborn man is going to have his bones broken. The yin and yang were in chaos, and heaven and earth were inverted. The space around them began to oppress. The people retreated one after another as they trembled in fear. They did not want to be affected. They turned their heads to look at Yichun. They guessed that he had escaped. However, what they saw was different. At that moment, Yichun stood where he was without moving. He even had disdain in his eyes. Die, you arrogant brat. The elder attacked angrily. The chaotic true origin energy attacked Yichun like a ferocious wolf. Yichun retracted his body and quickly grabbed the elder's hands. Huh, this. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Subsequently, the chaotic true origin energy was all devoured by Yichun. I'll return it to you. Rumble. The powerful palm energy backfired, and the elder died on the spot. Damn it, kill him. Seeing the death of the elder who surrendered, many of the beast-controlling sect's powerhouses attacked one after another. Beast-taming fist collapse. I'll collapse you first. One of them was about to attack with a collapsed fist, but his body was crushed when he encountered Yichun's fist glow. Let's attack together. Yichun turned around and glared at the powerhouses of the beast-controlling sect. There were beginner-level nascent soul powerhouses, mid-level nascent soul powerhouses, and master-level nascent soul powerhouses. The three of them looked at each other and attacked at the same time. Wind-controlling, breath-holding gravity, Azura, heaven-shaking kill. A strong wind howled and heaven and earth shook. A boundless, violent energy spun around Yichun. It condensed and burst out. The three powerhouses arrived at the same time. They performed their powerful abilities to kill Yi Chun. However, when they were 10 meters away from Yi Chun, the extremely violent Azura energy exploded in the air. The three of them were crushed into pieces, and their bodies and souls were destroyed. The three powerhouses were killed. In the end, heaven and earth shook in fear. Everyone had goosebumps as they looked at Yi Chun. Jinro and the rest looked like they had seen a ghost. The three great supreme elders of the Qingling sect looked at each other. They saw the shock in each other's eyes. The same thought flashed through their minds at the same time. Is this guy an outer disciple of the Qingling sect? Yi Chun lifted his head slowly and looked at the imperial monarch. They're all dead. It's your turn now. Chapter 1790. They're all dead. It's your turn now. Yi Chun walked toward the imperial king one step after another. His behavior shocked everyone. The world fell into silence at that moment. The people outside the arena looked at each other in astonishment. Yi Chun was challenging the imperial king, the only god transformation patriarch in Qingzhou. Ha ha, is this brat out his mind? He wants to challenge the patriarch? What a joke. Does he think he's invincible just because he killed a few good-for-nothings? Such an arrogant person is going to be sacrificed to the patriarch. The patriarch is the only god transformation patriarch in Qingzhou. This guy must have eaten a bear's heart and a leopard's guts. The people of the Imperial Beast sect scoffed. They were waiting for the patriarch to punish the person before them and avenge those who had died. Brat, you're the first person in Qingzhou who dares to say that. Do you know the consequences? That's death. The Imperial King stood on the crimson flame centipede, exuding a domineering aura that suppressed everyone. The people of the Qingling sect were nervous to hear that. Junior brother Gu Fan, what are you doing? Why aren't you leaving? Why are you challenging the Imperial King? Zhen Ro's eyes teared up. She was touched by Gu Fan's courage. Dong Xian shook her head lightly. She finally understood that Gu Fan was the bravest person in the Qingling sect, while Song He and the rest were all good-for-nothings. The rest of the people from the Qingling sect felt sorry for Yi Chun. He was risking his life to fight the god transformation patriarch to save everyone. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A strong wind blew between heaven and earth while the sun and moon dimmed. The crimson flame centipede kept spitting poisonous mist at Yi Chun. At the same time, the Imperial King leaped high in an attempt to kill Yi Chun. You're just an old man. How dare you be so arrogant before me? However, Yi Chun stood still facing the Imperial King and the crimson flame centipede's attacks. He was like a mountain. What? The people were shocked again. Although they knew that Yi Chun was powerful, it was impossible for him to survive against a god transformation patriarch. Why wasn't he running away? The people of the Qingling sect were helpless and depressed. Meanwhile, the people of the Imperial Beast sect thought that Yi Chun was an idiot who was waiting to die. Die, arrogant brat. The Imperial King was enraged. He attacked directly with the crimson flame centipede's poisonous mist. Idiot. Innate Qi grand capture. With a cold shout, energy erupted from Yi Chun's entire body, causing the entire space to shake. In the sky, an incomparably huge energy hand appeared out of nowhere. It was several times bigger than the crimson flame centipede. Just as he was about to attack, Imperial Monarch Yuren felt a powerful force pressing down on him from behind. It was like a giant hand was reaching for his body. He glanced behind him from the corner of his eyes and was shocked. This. He turned around, wanted to flee, but it was useless. The innate unity chi broke through the poisonous mist, and the great Grand Mist Palm captured him on the spot. Get down here, Yi Chun roared. The innate chi giant hand grabbed the Imperial King and tossed him down. Boom, boom, boom. Imperial Monarch's body fell to the ground like a sandbag, creating a 3-foot-deep pit on the ground. Pu. His body trembled incessantly as his bones shattered and blood spurted out from his mouth. The Imperial King was like a dead dog, lying on the ground moaning in pain. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Seeing that the Imperial King had fallen to the ground, the Crimson Flame Centipede wanted to continue attacking Yi Chun. How dare you move, you filthy creature? Yi Chun waved his hand again. A gigantic hand seal slammed at the crimson flame centipede. Boom, boom. Following a huge tremor, the crimson flame centipede was sent hundreds of meters away. It could not move either. Everyone was dumbfounded when they saw that. No one made a sound. Everyone was petrified. They did not expect this to be the outcome. Yi Chun had completely subdued the Imperial King and the Crimson Flame Centipede with a simple hand seal. How terrifying was his powerful ability? This Imperial Monarch Yurun could only move his mouth in the deep pit on the ground. He could not move his body at all. His face was filled with fear, and his expression was extremely stiff. A moment later, gasps could be heard one after another. The people of the Imperial Beast sect were dumbfounded. Their God Transformation Stage Patriarch, Imperial Monarch Yurun, was almost killed by a brat's palm. The people looked at Yi Chun as if they had seen a ghost. Imperial Monarch Yurun is no match for junior brother Gu Fan. Jinro could not even speak fluently. She was stuttering because she was too shocked. Everything happened too fast, so she could not react at all. Dong Xian revealed a faint smile. She did not expect Yi Chun to be so powerful. He was not what she imagined at all. This brat is a god. The three elders of the Qingling sect looked horrified. Yi Chun's performance had surpassed their understanding. At that moment, Imperial Monarch Yurin's scalp was tingling. He was dumbstruck. However, his brain was working forcefully. He wanted to live. He had realized something. He guessed that Yi Chun must be a void refinement stage old monster. He had encountered someone who did not show his abilities. Extreme fear filled his face. He looked at Yi Chun and said in a submissive manner, Senior, please spare my life. Please spare my life. I failed to recognize you. It's too late to beg for mercy now. A cold gleam shot out of Yi Chun's eyes. It was like a sharp blade that could cut the Imperial Monarch Yuren's heart, plunging him into despair. At the critical moment, Imperial Monarch Yuren shouted, Sir Ambassador, please save my life. At that moment, a giant hand came out of thin air as if it was trying to save him. Yi Chun's palm collided with the hand, and he retreated. Under everyone's gaze, a malicious-looking man in black appeared. The moment the malicious-looking man appeared, the pressure between heaven and earth was like a prison. Everyone was trembling. Imperial Monarch Yuren was over the moon. The malicious-looking man looked at Imperial Monarch Yuren with a grim expression. You piece of trash. You can't even fight a junior. What's the use of keeping you? He then looked at Yi Chun. You're strange, brat. Your cultivation base is only on Golden Core, but you managed to take my palm attack head-on. A void refinement stage cultivator? Yi Chun squinted slightly. He was merely a clone. No matter how powerful he was, he could not fight a void refinement stage powerhouse. At that moment, Qing Qinzi, one of the three supreme elders of the Qingling sect, forced himself to ask, May I ask if you're from the Rosy Devouring sect, senior? Everyone's expression changed when they heard that. The Rosy Devouring sect was the giant above the four major sects in Qingzhou. Rumor had it that there were soul-splitting old monsters guarding the sect. You're smart. The malicious-looking man smiled lightly. I'm Zhao Dong, the inner sect elder of the Rosy Devouring sect. Qing Qinzi asked in a trembling voice, Senior, why did you instruct the beast-controlling sect to attack the three sects in Qingzhou? Zhao Dong scoffed. Of course, it's to refine my 10,000 soul banner with you guys. As soon as he said that, a black banner appeared in the air. It was filled with a murderous aura, accompanied by the howling of a chilly wind. Everyone revealed a horrified expression. Yi Chun said coldly, I can tell that you're an orthodox disciple, but you're using living people to refine the banner. Aren't you afraid of being hunted down by the orthodox? End of this chapter. Chapter 1791. So what? As long as I kill all of you, who else will know? Kid, you're extremely talented. You're perfect for me to refine the banner. Zhao Dong revealed a sinister smile. He was as terrifying as a demon. He looked at Yi Chun coldly, as if he was looking at a treasure. Junior brother Gu Fan. Everyone was shocked and worried about Yi Chun. After all, the other party was an elder of the Sunset sect, a void refinement superpower house. No matter how powerful Yi Chun was, He could not fight such an existence. Once he was captured, he would be sacrificed to the myriad soul banner. You want to capture me just like that? What a joke. Yi Qin's eyes were cold. All the energy in his body was hidden in his hands. Arrogant kid, you deserve to die. Zhao Dong was furious. He flew out and attacked Yi Qin. Myriad souls seeking death. With a furious roar, countless vengeful spirits appeared in the air. These vengeful spirits were the sins that Zhao Dong had used to refine the myriad soul banner. At this moment, they were under Zhao Dong's control, and they all attacked Yi Qin. Divine Fist created in 33 days, heaven engulfing hand. The energy that he had been brewing earlier was unleashed. Rumble. The world shook. Between the clouds, a giant hand suddenly appeared. It was like a curtain covering the sky, descending to the mortal world. What? Zhao Dong was shocked. A golden core kid. He did not take him seriously at all. How could he do this? The myriad souls seeking death was real, but when the heaven engulfing hand grabbed, the power of the myriad souls suddenly lost 2/3 and was transferred into the void. Damn it! The soul power was extremely important to the myriad soul banner's operation. Zhao Dong was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood when Yi Qin messed with it. Myriad soul banner, withdraw. Zhao Dong had no choice but to take out the real myriad soul banner. The powerful suction made the wraiths that wanted to break free unable to escape and return. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Countless wraiths were screaming and cursing Zhao Dong, but it was useless. They had to return to the myriad soul banner. Ah, such a monstrous demonic technique shocked everyone. The cries of the wraiths were too miserable. They seeped into people's hearts. Those with insufficient cultivation base would go crazy on the spot. Soon, many disciples of the Beast Trainer sect went crazy. They kept screaming like madmen. Damn it! Zhao Dong was enraged. He took out the myriad soul banner, and the disciples who were shouting were all killed on the spot. So. Then, their resentful souls were also absorbed by the 10,000 soul banner. It was terrifying. The people of the Green Spirit sect were scared silly and did not dare speak at all. At this moment, Yi Qin knew that it was impossible to fight a void refinement stage old monster who had a ghost weapon like the 10,000 soul banner in his hands. The only way was to escape. Brat, it's your turn to destroy my 10,000 souls. Die. As he turned around, Zhao Dong took out the myriad soul banner again, wanting to capture Yi Qin. 6 paths of reincarnation fist, heavenly thunder, God, destroying palm. Yi Qin made 2 feints and flew away. Boom, boom, boom. Energy exploded in the sky, and a huge force swept out. Zhao Dong was worried that the 10,000 soul banner would be lost, so he quickly withdrew it. Good boy. I will remember you. As a void training stage old monster, he was unwilling to let Yi Qin leave. Ha, all of you follow me. With a wave of Zhao Dong's hand, a bright soul light enveloped everyone and sucked them into the 10,000 soul banner. At Yi Qin's cultivation place, whoosh, a figure landed on the ground. It was Yi Qin's clone. He walked toward the secret cave. Halfway there, he realized that there was fighting energy in front of him. Yi Qin's eyes were cold, and his heart was filled with anger. Did someone find his cave and want to enter? At a glance, it was a group of people besieging Xiao Jin. At this moment, Xiao Jin was already covered in wounds, but it guarded the entrance of the cave, not letting anyone enter. This was Yi Qin's clone's order to guard this place with his life. Perfect nascent soul. He saw that the strongest person on the other side was an old man with perfect nascent soul. Yi Qin flew over and shouted angrily. Stop! The people turned around to look at Yi Qin with a playful expression. Brat, who are you? Someone asked. We saw this beast first. If you don't want to die, scram. You don't have a right to know. In just one exchange, Yi Qin casually swung his arm. The immortal slaying saber flashed, and the cold light cut the throat. Blood spurted out. Dong! The man fell to the ground. Huh? The old man with perfect nascent soul frowned and looked at Yi Qin coldly. What are you talking about? Die. He dared to attack Xiao Jin. What was there to say about such a person who deserved to die? Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The immortal slaying flying saber was like a meteor. As it flew, it returned stained with blood. Dong, dong, dong. The remaining 3 fell to the ground without making a sound. Yi Chen suddenly stomped his foot, and energy swept in all directions. The 4 bodies were swept away by the energy and fell into the cliff. Seeing Yi Chen return, Xiao Jin ran over while screaming and hugged him. Looking at Xiao Jin, who was covered in blood, Yi Chen felt emotional. He released his true origin energy to heal Xiao Jin's injuries. Then, they entered the cave together. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Yi Chen's clone flickered and merged with his main body. Phew! His main body opened its eyes and saw Xiao Jin. Xiao Jin was stunned, but it still ran over and hugged Yi Chen. That aura was unforgettable. Xiao Jin, continue guarding. Xiao Jin nodded and returned to the cave. Yi Chen seized every second and took out the Frost Spirit Ice core. Rank 9 Devouring Rune. A rank 9 Devouring Rune appeared on Yi Chen's body. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The Frost Spirit Ice core slowly floated in the air. Then, countless runes locked onto the spirit core and began to devour it. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The frenzied devouring power allowed Yi Chen to merge the spirit core quickly. Ancient Secret Technique, activate. Yi Chen activated the Ancient Secret Technique. The 5 elements' power began to float and spin around his body. The power of the 5-color divine light was unleashed. 3 days later, the ancient god body was mastered. Rumble, heaven and earth shook violently, and the sun and moon shone. At that moment, the cave collapsed, and the entire mountain peak collapsed. A person walked out of the cave. His body emitted 5-colored divine light, causing the stars in the sky to twinkle and the sun and moon to worship. The divine light was unstoppable. It was like the divine power of heaven and earth, shooting straight into the sky. Rumble, thunder and lightning flashed continuously in the sky, and the clear sky was filled with thunderbolts. Such a phenomenon broke through space and reached the heavens and earth. The entire spirit realm was shocked. In the ancient tower of the heaven-trampling sect, swoosh, an old man flew up and looked at the sky with shock in his eyes. Someone cultivated a heaven-defying divinity. At the peak of bliss, a man dressed like a scholar had tears of blood in his eyes and a shocked expression. Who caused such a change in heaven and earth? Inside the demon disaster area, the earth and ocean collapsed, and many demons died. The demon powerhouse inhaled sharply. Could it be that an almighty human has appeared? At that moment, Yi Chen was like a natural god, extremely holy. His eyes pierced through the sky and took a step forward. Zhao Dong of the Rosy Devouring Sect. I'm here. Chapter 1792. Above the void, the wind rustled as a godlike figure traversed across. Without using his true origin energy, Yi Chen's body traversed. At that moment, all 360 acupuncture points on his body were opened. His entire body was like a dazzling diamond, illuminating the sky and shaking the galaxy. This was the benefit of the ancient god body. Rumble. Wherever Yi Chen passed, the void shattered and the space hissed. The ground seemed to have been destroyed by a destructive storm, completely sinking. Such might was too shocking countless cultivators. They looked at the majestic figure in the sky, as if they were looking at a god flying, his might unstoppable. Such a powerful body. Who exactly is this person? The soul formation cultivators were shocked when they saw Yi Chen and bowed in the air. Even the void refinement cultivators trembled. He's too powerful. With such a powerful physical cultivation base, he doesn't even need true origin energy to shock the world. In front of us, he's like a god that can't be offended. This person must be an immortal. It's our honor to take a look at him. That's right, we're all lucky. Everyone bowed, not daring to be disrespectful at all. Rumble. Thunder rumbled and lightning flashed. At that moment, everyone trembled as if they had been punished by the heavens. Yi Chen charged in one direction with the power of lightning and the might of anger. Someone exclaimed when they saw Yi Chen flying. Look, where is this senior going? It's the direction of Gunzhou. Someone gasped when they heard this, and they gathered their courage and guessed. This senior's aura is so imposing. He's obviously going to Gun Province to denounce them. Not good. He's definitely going to the Three Leviathans. I heard that Elder Zhao Dong of the Sunset Devouring Sect came to the Azure Province and even destroyed the Green Spirit Sect. He took the genius girl Dong Xian and Zhenro with him. The direction this senior came from is also the direction of the Green Spirit Sect. In that case, he's going to the Rosy Devouring Sect. Oh no, the Rosy Devouring Sect is in danger now. At that moment, Yi Chen summoned the wind and rain as he flew past. His speed was so fast that everyone was shocked. This is a great opportunity. Let's quickly follow him and head to the Rosy Devouring Sect to see what's going on. Everyone nodded. This was likely to be a great battle, and being able to observe it was a blessing in itself. The entire spirit realm was split into 5 provinces, and the Gun Province was one of them. The Azure Province was only a small place in the spirit realm. When the cultivators here talked about the large sects of the Gun Province, they were all very fearful. This was because there were 3 giants in the Gun Province. They were the Witchcraft Cult, the Sunset Sect, and the Giant Demon Sect. The Sorcerer God Cult worshipped the Sorcerer God and cultivated the art of witchcraft. They were the most bizarre and rarely came into contact with the outside world, hiding deep in the mountains. The Rosy Eclipse Sect lived in the wind and drank dew. They often went out to hunt and were the most active. The Giant Demon Sect was savage and tyrannical. It was a gathering of demons, and killing was their second nature. These 3 sects all had spirit-severing realm powerhouses presiding over them. At this moment, Zhao Dong had already returned to the Rosy Eclipse Gate. Sealing Technique. Inside his palace, Zhao Dong released his sealing technique. Dark Qi spread out, sealing Dong Xian, Zhenro, and the rest, preventing them from using their Zhen Yuan. Ha ha ha! All of you are like fish on the chopping block, all under my control. Zhao Dong laughed coldly, especially when he looked at Dong Xian and Zhenro. He revealed a greedy expression, obviously drooling over them. Are all of you afraid? Suddenly, anger appeared on Zhao Dong's face. A murderous aura surrounded the area, shocking everyone. Everyone was terrified and cold sweat flowed down their backs. Some were thinking that this demon had destroyed the Green Spirit Sect and brought them here. He was definitely going to use them as test subjects and carry out all kinds of torture. It was too terrifying. Some were thinking that they might die in the hands of this old monster. There was no chance of survival, and no one would come to save them. There were even people who believed that this kind of perverted old monster might not kill them immediately, but rather slowly torture them. Especially Dong Xian and Zhenro, with their beauty and talent, they would naturally suffer the most torture and even violated. How could they resist such beastly behavior? Everyone fell into despair. Facing such an old monster, they were like fish on the chopping block, waiting to be slaughtered. As Zhao Dong slowly approached them, the fear became more intense. Some even started to howl. Oh, let us go. That's right, Elder Zhao, let us go. I'm willing to be your slave and be at your beck and call. Hearing these wails, Zhao Dong's lips curled into a sinister smile. He looked at Dong Xian and Zhenro. The 2 of you are not bad. As long as you become this old man's cauldrons, you might not die. Who do you think you are? We won't agree. Dong Xian replied sternly. Yes, we won't agree. Zhenro was not hesitant. Zhao Dong sneered. Do you think that unfamiliar cultivator can save you? Not to mention that he's not my match. This is the Sunset Sect. If the body integration realm old monster doesn't act, who can save you? They naturally knew about the experts of the Sunset Sect. Zhenro bit her lips, feeling despair in her heart. Dong Xian and Zhenro's minds replayed the scene of Gu Fan's massacre, using it to numb their minds. Zhenro sighed in her heart. Junior brother Gu Fan, who exactly are you? You're so stubborn. Damn you. Zhao Dong was furious. He waved his hand and took out the 10,000 soul banner, wanting to refine everyone. At the same time, 100 kilometers away from the Sunset Sect, a person was riding the wind. Hundreds of kilometers in front of Yi Chen, There were mountains that were stacked on top of each other. Between the clouds and mist, there were many peaks that stood tall. The place where the mountains gathered was like a crouching tiger or a coiled dragon. A magnificent mountain gate emitted rays of light, illuminating the surroundings. There were 3 golden words written on it: Sunset Sect. The Sunset Sect had been established for hundreds of years. Ever since the patriarch founded it, it had always been prosperous. There was no lack of Soul Division old monsters overseeing it. They were incomparably powerful. Many years ago, there had been a Soul Division almighty who had invaded and died on the spot. Since then, the Sunset Sect had been invincible. Outsiders did not dare to invade. At this moment, in the rays of light, a person flew over like a god. Rumble, the powerful pressure, shook the surroundings. Above the Sunset Sect, tens of thousands of rays of light turned into a bridge. Yichin walked over the bridge. The rays of light that had previously added luster to the Sunset Sect were now like bloody light, shocking everyone's hearts. Who is this person? Someone sensed this powerful aura and knelt on the ground. Ah! With a cold shout, Yichin's sword fingers condensed energy. The power of the immortal slaying, flying saber shot out endlessly like an arrow leaving the bow. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Wherever the saber light passed, the mountains shattered and collapsed. After the cold, killing light gathered, it attacked the gate of the Sunset Sect with unstoppable might. Ah, this pressure was unparalleled. The disciples guarding the gate all knelt on the spot, trembling. May I know who you are, Senior? Why have you come to the Sunset Sect? End of this chapter. Chapter 1793. Yichin did not respond. Instead, he stared coldly at the sunset devouring sect. Yichin did not respond at all. Instead, he looked into the Sunset Sect coldly. He sank his energy into his dantian and roared like an ancient god. Get your sect's elder, Zhao Dong, to come out and see me. The rumbling sound was like a huge bell, shaking the entire sunset-devouring sect. The sound was like a wave that continued to spread. It was like the law of the sea. Everyone trembled and shook the sky. In the main hall, Zhao Dong used the 10,000 soul banner and was about to refine Dong Xian. Zhenrou and the rest heard the shocking sound from outside. Their hearts trembled and their expressions changed. Junior Brother Gu has come to save us. Zhenrou and the rest were overjoyed. They did not expect someone to really come to save them. Ha ha, someone will come to save you? The junior Brother Gu you speak of is the kid who escaped? Zhao Dong laughed. He didn't really escape. He's just waiting for an opportunity. He will definitely come back. Zhenrou said, That's right. Junior Brother Gu won't abandon anyone. Dong Xian continued, What a bunch of idiots. Even if he really came here, who can he save with his cultivation base? Have you forgotten that the sunset-devouring sect has a soul-splitting super powerhouse guarding it? Who does Gu Fan think he is? Everyone was shocked when they heard that. They were gradually intimidated and calmed down. Zhen Rou's heart trembled. This was the sunset-devouring sect with a soul-splitting old monster guarding it. Junior Brother Gu was indeed seeking death by coming here. Dong Xian and the rest were horrified. They were happy that Gu Fan was back, but it was not worth it if he came to die. All of you are already in my bag, yet you still want to escape? How laughable. Looking at Dong Xian and the rest, Zhao Dong's lips curled into a cold smile. It seemed that their fate was to die in Zhao Dong's hands. Rumble. At that moment, Yi Chen's palm energy shook the entire sect. Zhao Dong's brows furrowed as he flew out. Outside the sect, the powerhouses of the entire sunset-devouring sect were shocked and rushed over. Shaken by Yi Chen's palm energy, the protective formation outside the rosy, devouring gate blossomed with light. It rose into the sky, resplendent and blinding. Sect leader. Seeing an old man coming, everyone bowed. It was the sect leader of the sunset-devouring sect, Taoist Lingyun. Taoist Lingyun nodded slightly and faced Yichun. He walked forward, first saluted, and then asked, Who are you? Why are you offending my rosy eclipse sect? Yichun did not respond. Instead, he looked at Zhao Dong coldly. Taoist Lingyun glanced at Zhao Dong and then at Yi Chun. He sensed a powerful sense of oppression from Yi Chen's body. This feeling came directly from Yi Chen's body. It was not some true origin force, but the suppression of a living body. This person's physical body has already reached the divine level. How is this possible? Taoist Ling Yun had some discerning eyes. He saw a godlike might from Yi Chun. This kind of might was unstoppable. Under such circumstances, he did not dare to attack rashly. Otherwise, he would have attacked long ago when Yi Chun was suppressing the Sunset Sect. Fellow Taoist, why are you offending my Sunset Sect? Taoist Spirit Fall asked again. Yi Chun glanced over coldly and pointed at Zhao Dong. You'll have to ask him. Taoist Spirit Meteor looked at Zhao Dong. Elder Zhao, what happened? Did you bring this person here? Feeling the shock from Yi Chen's aura, Zhao Dong was terrified. Damn it, this brat's aura suddenly increased. Even his face has become so calm and mature. What exactly happened? If I didn't look at him confidently, I really wouldn't have recognized him as that brat. Zhao Dong could sense the aura on Yi Chen's body. It was probably not inferior to the Sunset Sect's patriarch. How could he deal with such a powerful aura? He suppressed his fear and calmly denied. Sect Master, I don't know this brat. He knew very well that once he admitted it, he would definitely suffer a terrible fate. Taoist Spirit Meteor nodded lightly and looked at Yi Chun. Sir, I think there must be something between you and Elder Zhao. Open the formation within 10 breaths and let me capture this person. Otherwise, I'll destroy your Sunset Sect. Before the sect master could finish, Yi Chun interrupted him forcefully. Everyone was shocked when they heard that. The disciples of the Sunset Sect were furious. Taoist Spirit Meteor was so angry that he laughed and said, "How arrogant of you!" In his opinion, the Sunset Sect's protective formation was personally refined by the Sunset Sect's patriarch. It was called the Sunset Purple Chi Formation. As long as the formation was activated to its highest level, it could even withstand a strike from a body integration old monster. Such power filled him with confidence. Ha ha ha! You're being rude and provoking my Sunset Sect. Are you really not afraid of dying here? Your cultivation base is far from enough to be so arrogant. Zhao Dong laughed out loud and went forward to provoke Yi Chun. With the sect master here and the protective formation in front of him, what could Yi Chun do even if he was powerful? Since the other party did not threaten his life, as an elder of the Sunset Sect, he would retaliate. Yi Chun's expression was indifferent like a mountain. He was not touched by the provocation of the person before him at all. He raised his right hand high and punched the sky. He was domineering and invincible. Rumble! A powerful might descended from the sky and penetrated the Sunset Purple Chi Formation. The protective formation of the Sunset Sect trembled continuously, but in the end, it still dissolved the attack. Although this fist gleam is powerful, it's laughable to break the formation. The sect master of the Sunset Sect, Taoist Spirit Meteor, sneered. Break the formation? Huh. When did I say I wanted to break the formation now? Yi Chun sneered. Taoist Spirit Meteor's heart trembled. What did this brat mean? At this moment, screams rang out incessantly. Sect Master, at least 1,000 disciples in the sect have been killed. A cultivator quickly reported. What? Taoist Spirit Meteor was shocked. He did not expect Yi Chun's fist gleam to still have such penetrative power after being weakened by the Sunset Sect's protective formation. It was terrifying. He turned around and saw that many nascent soul disciples' faces were pale. Their vital energy and blood surged as they collapsed to the ground. Are you going to open it or not? Yi Chun asked loudly. Taoist Spirit Meteor looked shocked. You're on your own. My patriarch won't let you off. Rumble. Before Taoist Spirit Meteor could finish speaking, Yi Chun raised his right hand again and struck. The tremendous force shook heaven and earth. The power this time was several times stronger than the last time. With just a single strike, nearly 2,000 disciples were killed in the Sunset Sect. Many nascent soul disciples even fell to the ground and died. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. At the same time, cracks appeared in the protective formation of the Sunset Sect to resist Yi Chun's punch. This Taoist spirit meteor was shocked. The protective formation of the Sunset sect was refined by the patriarch. How could it be cracked by a single punch from his brat? This was too exaggerated. End of this chapter. Chapter 1794. While Yichun was attacking the Sunset sect's formation in the sorcerer god cult of Gun State, there were 3 people sitting cross-legged in the main hall. Their auras were extremely powerful. They were 2 men and 1 woman. Ooh. The auras of the 3 of them were steady and spontaneous. The surrounding space shook rapidly like the sound of a bell and drum. Even 1,000 feet away, it was shocking. No one dared to approach. These 3 people were the ancestors of Gun Province's 3 great powers: Ancestor Cloud Eater, Ancestor Witch Goddess, and Ancestor Giant Devil. The 3 of them seemed to be discussing something important. Ancestor Cloud Eater said, "Both of you, I've received a law decree from the High Sect. I want to select a few people from a numerous human cultivators in the spirit realm and gather all resources to nurture powerhouses at the Path Integration realm. What do you think? There's such a good thing?" The giant demon ancestor's eyes lit up with excitement. The Tao integration stage is a higher stage. It's not something that ordinary people can cultivate. "I'm afraid it's not that simple," the sorcerer goddess said softly. Ancestor Cloud Eater smiled faintly and continued, "Since the High Sect has issued such a decree, I'm afraid we all have a chance. Why be so pessimistic? We are all at the peak of the spirit severing stage. If we don't work hard, we will die. I'm afraid this is not the result you 2 want to see, right? Furthermore, I see that the High Sect thoughts are definitely to deal with the devil disaster." Everyone couldn't help but worry. The devil calamity was growing stronger and stronger in the spirit realm. It was like a knife hanging over everyone's head. Of course, sorcerer goddess and giant demon ancestor answered in unison. "That's right. We're the 3 overlords of the Gun Province, and such a good thing can absolutely not fall into the hands of others." Well said. The 3 of them discussed how to deal with this matter. Boom! Suddenly, thunder rumbled and lightning flashed in the sky. A powerful aura swept across the entire area, shaking the 3 ancestors. "A powerhouse has descended. Hurry up and welcome him," Ancestor Cloud Eater said. The 3 of them stood up in horror and quickly came out of the main hall. They recognized that the person was an elder at the peak of the spirit-severing stage from the heaven-trampling sect. "I didn't know that the High Sect elder had arrived. We didn't go out to welcome you." Ancestor Cloud Eater bowed on behalf of the other 2. There's no need to be so courteous. I believe you all already know what I came here to say," said that elder. "Could it be about nurturing Tao integration stage cultivators?" That's right. After hearing this, the 3 of them revealed serious expressions, not daring to slack off. "Please." Ancestor Cloud Eater made an inviting gesture, and a few of them entered the main hall together. The 3 of them invited the High Sect elder to sit in the main seat. Although the 4 of them were at the peak of the spirit-severing stage, the heaven-trampling sect elder was naturally of a higher status. "Dare I ask, Elder Kuang Yin, what instructions did the High Sect give us this time?" The 3 of them asked simultaneously. Elder Kuang Yin faintly smiled and went straight to the point. "You don't have to be so polite. We are all spirit-severing stage cultivators. We should be on equal footing." I don't dare." The 3 of them smiled apologetically. Ha. I know what you're thinking. I won't deny it either. The 3 of you have a chance to participate in the Tao integration stage cultivators being nurtured by the sect. The 3 of them were overjoyed. "Thank you, Elder Kuang Yin." The 3 of them bowed at the same time. At that moment, Ancestor Cloud Eater's expression suddenly changed greatly. "Ancestor Cloud Eater, what's the matter?" Ancestor Giant Devil asked. "Oh no, someone is attacking the Rosy Devouring sect." It turned out that he was the one who created the Rosy Devouring Purple Chi formation. It contained his divine consciousness. Once the formation fluctuated, it would naturally attract his attention. Ancestor Cloud Eater's expression was solemn as he turned and left. The 3 of them chased after him, only to see that Ancestor Cloud Eater had already stepped into the air and disappeared. The remaining three revealed stunned expressions. The Rosy Devouring Sect was one of the three overlords of Gun Province. Someone actually dared to attack them. Who was this person? Moreover, Ancestor Cloud Eater's movements were so fast. Did he really value this person so much? Ancestor Giant Devil said, "Fellow Cloud Eater is our close friend. Why don't we go together to see what's going on?" "That's right, let's go together." The other two agreed. The three of them followed and soared into the sky. Outside the Rosy Devouring Sect, Yichun stood alone in the wind like a god of war. "Yichun boy, don't go too far. My Rosy Devouring Sect is one of the three overlords of Gun Province. You're simply courting death by doing this." Taoist Ling Yun rebuked Yichun angrily, but did not dare to act rashly. "Ha ha, old man Ling Yun, I asked you to hand over Zhao Dong, but you're still stalling for time. If this goes on, the Rosy Devouring Sect will be destroyed." Yichun laughed maniacally, shaking the nine heavens and resounding through the earth. Almost all the disciples in the Rosy Devouring Sect heard Yichun's laughter. Every disciple was terrified, especially those with insufficient cultivation base. They did not know where to hide because no matter where they were, Yichun's fist gleam could kill them. "What should we do? Who did Elder Zhao Dong offend? This is too terrifying. Elder Zhao Dong, anger powerhouse, but we have to die with him. What is this?" But the sect leader doesn't seem to be prepared to hand over Elder Zhao Dong. The people in the sect discussed, and these voices also reached Taoist Ling Yun's ears. He was hesitating whether to hand over Zhao Dong. "Stalling for time is challenging my patience. If that's the case, all of you can die." Yichun was furious. His fist gleam soared into the sky and headed straight for the people of the Rosy Devouring Sect. This, hand it over, hand it over," Taoist Ling Yun shouted. Too late. Yichun shouted coldly, and the fist gleam had already blasted down. Rumble. The power covered the sky, carrying supreme energy as it attacked. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The Rosy Devouring Sect's formation rumbled loudly and continuously shattered. "This brat is extremely arrogant. Sect leader, there's no need to talk to him. Kill." Many Rosy Devouring Sect powerhouses attacked Yichun one after another. "Trash! How dare you come here to die?" Yichun was furious and struck out with his palm. Azura, heaven-shaking kill. Netherworld finger. The Azura roared, and the Netherworld opened a path. In front of Yichun, an endless path of bloody purgatory appeared. Evil spirits roared, and Yakshas demanded life. Boom, boom, boom. The powerful might shook the sky, and the entire sect was destroyed. Screams rang out as more than 100 Rosy Devouring Sect powerhouses died on the road to the Netherworld. The people of the Rosy Devouring Sect were already terrified. Taoist Ling Yun directly grabbed Zhao Dong and threw him out. No. Zhao Dong was terrified like a worm, lying on the ground, not daring to move. "Senior Yichun, this person has been handed over. Why don't you stop targeting him?" Taoist Ling Yun said. "You know what's good for you." Yichun sneered. He flew down and stepped on Zhao Dong directly. Spare me, spare me." Zhao Dong was like a mouse, constantly begging. "Zhao Dong, do you still remember what I said before I left? It's all my fault. Senior, spare me." "Spare me? Ha ha. You still want to live after angering me. Yichun, die." Yichun raised his palm and was about to attack Zhao Dong. Rumble. Thunder rumbled and lightning flashed. A powerful aura descended from the sky. Following that, a furious voice came from the void. "Which scoundrel dares to offend the Rosy Devouring Sect?" End of this chapter. Chapter 1795. This voice shook the heavens, shaking the 5 peaks. The power it exuded was enough to make one tremble. "It's the Patriarch, the Patriarch. The old ancestor has descended. This kid must die. The old ancestor has arrived." The people of Sunset Devour Sect were overjoyed, as if they had seen the light of hope, and they cheered. Yichun turned around with cold eyes and saw several rays of light filling the sky above the firmament. One of them was the Forefather Cloud Eater. Taoist Ling Yun was extremely excited. Finally, they could straighten their backs and speak. Under everyone's excited gazes, the patriarch of Cloud Eater descended on an auspicious cloud and faced Yi Chen coldly. Taoist spirit meteor stepped forward and bowed. The patriarch nodded lightly and subsequently looked at Yi Chen. The forefather Cloud Eater's eyes were as cold as ice, but he still could not see through Yi Chen. The young man before him was as deep as the deep sea, giving off a mysterious aura. His cultivation base and true strength were a mystery. However, Yi Chen was young after all. No matter how careful the forefather Cloud Eater was, he would not value him that much. The patriarch opened his mouth to pour wine. "Who are you? Why have you offended my Rosy Eclipse sect?" "I'm Yi Chen. Zhao Dong of the Rosy Devour sect actually dares to capture my friend. If I don't get rid of this person, I won't be able to quell the hatred in my heart." He glared coldly at Zhao Dong, who was prostrating on the ground like a pig. Forefather Cloud Eater walked in front of Zhao Dong and asked coldly, "Zhao Dong, did you capture this person's friend?" Zhao Dong prostrated on the ground and hugged the old ancestor's leg. He cried loudly and said, "Ancestor, please be wise. I, Zhao Dong, did not do such a thing. This person used his power to bully others. He bullied us because we had no one." Forefather Cloud Eater narrowed his eyes. He saw that Zhao Dong's gaze was evasive, and he had a guilty conscience in his heart. Thus, he knew the truth of the matter. However, Zhao Dong was a member of the Rosy Devouring sect. Yi Chen had caused such a huge commotion and even destroyed the Rosy Devouring formation that he had personally created. Handing Zhao Dong over was a small matter, but damaging the Rosy Devouring sect's reputation was a big deal. "Yi Chen, you heard it too. He didn't catch your friend at all. I think it's a misunderstanding. Please go back." Ancestor Cloud Eater stepped forward and said with a smile, "What? Go back." Yi Chen smirked as his aura exploded from his body. A strong gust of wind blew and everyone retreated. The old ancestor of the Sunflower sect was furious. He actually dared to display his might in front of him. This child was indeed savage. "Hand over my friend, kill Zhao Dong, and this matter will be settled. Otherwise, your entire Sunset sect will be buried with him." As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. He wanted everyone from the Cloud Eater sect to be buried with him. This was something that the ancestor had said before. Could it be that this person wasn't even afraid of the ancestor? Everyone could not see through Yi Chen, but with the patriarch here, they were confident. "Arrogant brat, kneel down and apologize to me at once, or I'll make you die without a burial." Taoist Ling Yun cursed. "Little Ling Yun, you think you're qualified to talk to me?" Yi Chen scoffed coldly. He pointed his sword at the air in front of him. The color drained from Taoist spirit meteor's face as he circulated all his energy to resist the finger. Z. However, the finger energy was like a laser, piercing through everything. It instantly pierced through spirit fallen Taoist protective Jin Yuan and struck his Qi Si. With a scream, Taoist spirit meteor fell to the ground. Everyone was shocked. That was their sect master, Taoist spirit meteor, a late-stage void refinement cultivator. He was knocked down by Yi Chen with a single finger. Just how powerful was this person? The Cloud Eater patriarch's brows furrowed as anger surged in his heart. "You actually dare to hurt my sect member in front of me. It seems like you really don't take me seriously. You? Ha ha ha, you're a sensible person." Yi Chen sneered. "Damn it." The Cloud Eater patriarch attacked angrily. This brat was extremely arrogant. If he did not kill him on the spot, where would the face of the Cloud Eater sect be? Where would the face of the Cloud Eater patriarch be? Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The patriarch sent out several palms in a row. Each palm carried an enormous force that could kill a void refinement cultivator. Seeing such a force sweeping out, everyone from the Cloud Eater sect was overjoyed. "Ha ha! The patriarch is a perfected soul-splitting cultivator. The force of his palm is enough to kill a void refinement cultivator. No matter how powerful this brat is, he won't be able to block it. That's right, this person is extremely arrogant. He should die on the spot. This brat is dead for sure. We'll just wait and watch the show. He killed thousands of my Cloud Eater sect disciples before. This time, he'll pay with his life. The Patriarch is mighty. Everyone supported the Cloud Eater Patriarch, hoping to kill Yi Chun in one blow. At this moment, Yi Chun was fighting the Cloud Eater Patriarch in midair. You dare to advance with such a useless move? As Yi Chun turned around, he threw a punch. 33 days Divine Fist, Earth Overturning Seal. However, the force around Yi Chun condensed on the fist gleam and turned into a huge mountain seal. It was as if Mount Tai had collapsed in front of him and the sun and moon had sunk below. The tremendous force was unstoppable. Huh? The Cloud Eater Patriarch turned pale with fright and quickly withdrew. Boom, boom, boom. Wherever the Earth Overturning Seal went, not a blade of grass grew. The palm force that the Patriarch had sent out earlier that could kill a Void Refinement Cultivator was completely destroyed. Rumble. The power of the Earth Overturning Seal did not diminish. It destroyed the palm force and descended at the same time. Countless Cloud Eater sect disciples screamed loudly and were instantly crushed to death by the Earth Overturning Seal. When everyone saw this scene, they fled in panic like street rats. I hate this to death. Seeing that thousands of his disciples were destroyed again, the Cloud Eater Patriarch was furious. Cloud Eater's secret technique, True Spirit Heart Blood. The Cloud Eater Patriarch spat out a mouthful of blood and clenched his fist at the sky. Immediately, the rainbow scattered and turned into a strange light, triggering the residual force of the Cloud Eater formation and attacking Yi Chun. Another useless move. Yi Chun stretched out his hand and suddenly grabbed. Star-picking palm. The huge handprint was like a pillar that held up the sky as it grabbed at the sky. The starlight poured down like a flood, turning into endless power and gathering in Yi Chun's hand. Go! He waved his hand, and the huge handprint condensed from the grand starlight descended. Kill! The Cloud Eater Patriarch attacked angrily. The rainbow angrily faced the star-picking palm, but he completely overestimated the power of his forbidden technique. The star-picking palm carried the light of the 9 heavenly stars and forcefully suppressed the rainbow, forcing the Cloud Eater Patriarch to retreat continuously. Immortal Slaying Saber Gleam. Just as the star-picking palm suppressed the rainbow, Yi Chun once again took out the Immortal Slaying Flying Saber and forcefully attacked. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The light of the Immortal Slaying Flying Saber flew like a meteor, its speed faster than the blink of an eye. The Cloud Eater Patriarch's body was cut by the light of the Immortal Slaying Saber. That kind of pain made him cry out. Thump! Following that, the Patriarch fell from the sky like a sandbag and smashed heavily on the ground. Everyone's expressions instantly froze like statues. Their hearts trembled as if they had entered hell. The Patriarch was defeated? At that moment, there was dead silence in the sky and on the ground. End of this chapter. Chapter 1796. Is that all the Rosy Devouring sect has? Yi Chun stood high in the air and asked the thousands of Rosy Devouring sect disciples below. Looking at the Patriarch of Rosy Devouring who was groaning in pain below, everyone was shocked. They had lost the courage to talk to Yi Chun. Who was this person in front of them? He had such terrifying power at such a young age. It was simply heaven-defying. This is impossible. This is absolutely impossible. The Patriarch is a great perfection soul, splitting cultivator. How could he lose to a brat? Who is this person? Where did this person come from? How could he have such power? Even the Patriarch is not his match. In this way, how did Zhao Dong snatch him from his hands? What is going on? It's too terrifying. Did you see that? The divine ability that person used is something that we've never heard of before. It's like an ancient divine ability or secret technique. This person must have an expert helping him. His master is probably super old monster. Should we surrender? The scene of the Rosy Devouring sect's Patriarch being defeated by Yi Chun was too shocking. The disciples of the Rosy Devouring sect had completely lost their composure. They were like children crying, extremely tragic. The sect master of the rosy devouring sect, Taoist Lingyun, was even more frightened. He originally wanted to rely on his own abilities to fight Yi Chun, but he did not expect the patriarch to come. He thought that Yi Chun would definitely die. The rosy devouring sect was famous for its great formation, but this result was unacceptable. Patriarch, Taoist Lingyun flew over and supported the patriarch of rosy devouring sect. Aya, the patriarch of rosy devouring sect, was ashamed. As a great perfection soul-splitting cultivator, an overlord, he was bullied by a nameless brat like this. This was too embarrassing. This person is so hateful. How dare he treat me like this? The patriarch was furious and cursed. However, he knew very well that he had indeed lost to Yi Chun in the battle of divine abilities. This person's strength was unfathomable. He was even stranger than many old monsters. Forcing a battle would only be asking for humiliation. He looked at Zhao Dong. At this moment, the latter was crawling on the ground like a dog. You bastard, you killed thousands of my disciples, and now you still have the face to crawl here? The patriarch of rosy devouring sect cursed at Zhao Dong. If it were not for him, he would not have made such a fool of himself and been taught a lesson by a young man. Patriarch, spare me, spare me. Zhao Dong looked like he was mourning as he hugged the old ancestor's ankle and refused to let go. He knew that he would die in Yi Chun's hands once he lost the patriarch's protection. How did the Rosy Eclipse sect produce such an evil creature like you? Fellow Taoist, since Ancestor Cloud Eater was just about to hand over Zhao Dong when dark clouds suddenly covered the sky. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled as a powerful aura descended. Ha ha. Suddenly, Ancestor Cloud Eater laughed heartily. Yi Chun narrowed his eyes and looked at the sky. He noticed that two powerful energies were approaching. It was the great demon patriarch and the sorcerer goddess matriarch. The two great ancestors descended and were greatly shocked to see the miserable state of Ancestor Cloud Eater and the people of Cloud Eater sect. Ancestor Cloud Eater, why is that? The giant demon ancestor asked. You two don't know. I'm ashamed to have fallen into this person's hands today. Ancestor Cloud Eater didn't care about his reputation and directly said it out loud. After all, the two of them had descended and they joined forces. They completely had a chance to regain some lost ground. It wouldn't be too late to take revenge when the time came. This person has such strength. The sorcerer goddess matriarch looked at Yi Chun in the sky with a disdainful expression. In her opinion, Yi Chun was nothing more than a young boy, not worth mentioning at all. She was puzzled that he had been defeated by this person. You don't know, this boy has concealed himself deeply. His cultivation base is comparable to a body integration old monster, Ancestor Cloud Eater said. Ha ha, you must be joking, fellow cultivator. This boy is so young, but his cultivation base is comparable to a body integration old monster. I don't believe it. The giant demon ancestor said. Yes, fellow Taoist Cloud Eater, what happened to you that you were beaten like this by a boy? The sorcerer goddess matriarch also said. This, being questioned by the two, Ancestor Cloud Eater's old face suddenly turned red, and he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. You two, don't make fun of me. Why don't you take this person? All right, since fellow Taoist Cloud Eater said so, we'll do it. The giant demon ancestor stepped forward and faced Yi Chun. Boy, give me your life. He flew up, the shadow of a giant demon appearing behind him. The powerful demonic might shook the world. This aura shocked everyone. The people of the rosy, devouring sect all revealed looks of surprise, waiting for the giant demon ancestor to take down Yi Chun. Insignificant skill, useless move. Yi Chun shouted coldly, his eyes slightly closed, not taking it seriously at all. With a wave of his hand, the shadow of a Buddha appeared behind him. With a big hand, the sky-turning seal descended. Rumble! The sky-turning seal was like Mount Hua pressing down, unavoidable. What? The giant demon ancestor was shocked. His demonic might was immediately suppressed by the sky-turning seal. Go! The giant demon ancestor flew away, the earth shaking and the mountains and rivers losing their color. Seeing this scene, the sorcerer goddess matriarch could not help but reveal a look of fear. Previously, she thought that Yi Chun was just a cripple, but now he actually forced back the giant demon ancestor's killing move with one palm. Such a magnificent feat was too terrifying. "You two, why don't you attack together?" the Cloud Eater ancestor asked. The giant demon ancestor and the sorcerer goddess matriarch revealed serious expressions, their previous confidence completely gone. Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked. Yi Chun alone intimidated the three great ancestors. Wasn't it too exaggerated? At this moment, Yi Chun said lightly, "Today, I'm only looking for trouble with the Cloud Eater sect. If you two dare to interfere, you will also die." "What? Not giving any face at all?" The sorcerer goddess matriarch and the giant demon ancestor were furious. Although they were afraid of Yi Chun's foundation, the other party was so arrogant, not giving any face at all. If the three of them joined forces, they could definitely deal with Yi Chun with the power of the sun and moon. "This child is extremely arrogant. We must kill him. The three of us will attack together and kill this child," the giant demon ancestor said angrily. "The giant demon ancestor is right. We won't show any mercy. Just kill him directly," the Cloud Eater ancestor said. "All right." Since the two great ancestors said so, the sorcerer goddess matriarch agreed. At this moment, everyone's heart was extremely conflicted. Three great ancestors of the soul severing stage against a seemingly golden core cultivator. If such a battle spread out, it would be a shocking joke, but in order to survive, they had to do this. It's unbelievable. The three great ancestors joined forces to deal with this kid. This child can die in the hands of the three great ancestors. It's a worthy death. Although it's not very honorable, for the sake of the Cloud Eater sect, we must support the ancestors. Everyone supported the three great ancestors, hoping that they would kill Yi Chun. "Three pieces of trash. Since you want to die, I'll send you on your way." Yi Chun was furious, the energy of his body shaking in all directions. Chapter 1797. The battle between Yi Chun and the three great patriarchs shocked the world. In midair, the three patriarchs were fighting Yi Chun. The three of them stood in different positions and were ready for battle. They were no longer as confident and relaxed as before. Instead, they were completely serious and used their most powerful abilities to kill Yi Chun. "Yi Chun, you brat, I'll kill you today," the giant demon ancestor roared in anger. Devil chi erupted from his body as a gigantic devil manifested behind him. Its body was like a mountain and it bared its fangs, looking extremely terrifying. Seeing this kind of demon statue, the people of the Sunset sect were shocked one after another. Countless people fell to the ground on the spot, and some were even scared to death by the demon statue. That was because this devil statue contained powerful devil chi and laws. Just a single glance at it could penetrate deep into one's heart and affect one's mind. If one's cultivation base wasn't high enough, or if one's martial will wasn't strong enough, they would be directly killed. Ha! The giant demon patriarch was filled with confidence when he saw his demonic might. He laughed heartily and looked at Yi Chun. "Yi Chun, are you afraid?" the giant demon ancestor asked. "Frightened? Trash, you spoke too much." Yi Chun's eyes turned cold. He moved like a gust of cold wind and disappeared without a trace. "What?" The giant demon patriarch was still showing off his demonic might when he realized that Yi Chun had disappeared. This was a very disadvantageous situation in a battle. "Be careful, fellow giant devil," Ancestor Cloud Eater cried out in alarm at this moment. The giant demon ancestor felt a chill run down his spine. "Kill!" The old ancestor turned around and punched out with a powerful punch. At the same time, the giant devil phantom moved. With the support of the devil phantom, the power of this punch was enough to kill a mid-void refinement realm cultivator. Boom! The huge fist aura was like a ferocious beast, directly shattering the three nearby peaks on the spot. Such power intimidated everyone's hearts. and everyone from sunset-consumed sect retreated in a mountain gate, afraid that they would be swept to death by the aftermath of this fist light. Something's wrong. But at this moment, the giant demon ancestor felt an invisible killing intent coming from the side of his body. His giant fist just now had actually missed. 33 days created divine fist, sky-shaking stomp. Just as the giant demon ancestor couldn't find anyone, he heard a storm in the sky, and the sound of thunder shook the earth. This. He looked up and saw the shadow of a giant foot, like a thunderstorm descending from the 9 heavens, heading straight for his head. Giant devil body protection. In the moment of crisis, the giant demon ancestor summoned the giant demon protector. Layers of demonic shadows appeared, forming a demonic shield that protected him. Boom! Kacha, kacha, kacha! Sky-shaking hammer. At the same time, when the heaven-shaking stomp crushed the demonic shadow, Yichen seamlessly connected with the heavenly hammer of Han. With a loud rumble, he descended with great force like a divine ape breaking through the ground and Kwafu splitting the mountain. Ah! The giant demon ancestor screamed in pain as he was sent flying. Poo-pee-you. Blood flowed out, and his internal organs were injured. The giant demon ancestor shivered in fear. Ah! The witch goddess and ancestor Cloud Eater were shocked at the same time. They looked at each other and attacked at the same time. Curse of the witch god. Demons, monsters, and demons. The female ancestor unleashed the sorcerer goddess curse. Instantly, dark clouds gathered between the heavens and earth, lightning flashed, and thunder rumbled. The cries of ghosts echoed throughout the space for thousands of miles. The hearts of everyone from the Rosy Eclipse sect were haunted by the ghostly sound at the same time, and it was unknown how many people vomited on the spot. Hurry up and enter the formation. The Taoist Ling Yin opened the defense formation again and let everyone in. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Everyone jumped into the formation like ants passing through a field. In the sky, the witch goddess ancestor continued to unleash the sorcerer goddess curse. Endless evil spirits and monsters appeared one after another and attacked Yichun. Ha ha! Yichun, you brat, I'll kill you this time. Seeing the evil spirits and monsters surrounding Yichun, the Cloud Eater ancestor was overjoyed and began to circulate his origin power. Cloud Eater, Sun Moon power. The Cloud Eater ancestor ignored the heavy injuries on his body and forcefully activated the Cloud Eater sect's supreme heart technique. Rainbows appeared in the sky again. Multicolored light filled the sky and covered the Cloud Eater ancestor's direction. The ancestor was like a Buddha from the 9th heaven, sitting cross-legged in the sky, ready to deal a fatal blow. Ha ha! The ancestor is amazing indeed. He can even use the Cloud Eater sect's supreme heart technique. Once this heart technique is used, all the clouds will come and the ancestor's power will increase 100 times. Yichun will die. Yes, Yichun won't have a chance. With the witch goddess ancestor's evil spirits and monsters spell, he won't survive. Everyone was overjoyed. Yichun would die this time. Just in time, Yichun's eyes released flames as he evolved the golden pupil flame. The golden fire wheel reappeared behind him, and his entire body bloomed with samadhi true fire. He was like a fire god descending to the world, burning heaven and earth. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The power of flames filled the world. For a moment, all the evil spirits and monsters were burned. It was as if they were baptized by hellfire, and they were all defeated. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Screams rang out as the witch goddess ancestor's spell was broken on the spot. Oh no! The witch goddess was shocked. Once her spell was broken, the Cloud Eater ancestor would be the only one left. What would happen to him? Yichun's eyes locked onto the patriarch of bitter laughter. Anger rose in his brows, and evil courage grew. At this moment, all his anger was directed at this person. Overlord body of celestial demon. 8 heavenly dragons music. Roar. Thunder rumbled above the 9th heaven, and the head of an angry dragon appeared in the sky. Between the clouds, above the sky, Yichun sat cross-legged high in the sky, as if the heavenly Tao was judging. Behind him, the 8 dragon heads appeared one after another. Roar! For a moment, the dragon's roar carried the power of celestial demons and the might of the sky. Although he had absorbed the power of many rainbows, at this moment, the Cloud-Eater ancestor already knew his end in the face of such power. How hateful! Just as he looked up at the sky and sighed. Roar! The energy of the 8 dragons rushed down angrily. The brain-crushing sound was unsolvable. Rumble! The gathered energy attacked, and the world's 5 elements existed. The Cloud-Eater ancestor exploded on the spot. Patriarch! Amid everyone's cries, the Cloud-Eater ancestor's figure shattered and turned into nothingness. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Fortunately, he had long known his solution. He released his primordial spirit cultivation method and protected a wisp of his primordial spirit to escape. At this moment, everyone could no longer describe their current feelings. They looked at Yi Chun as if they were looking at a ghost. Save me, High Sect Emissary. After the Cloud-Eater ancestor's primordial spirit escaped, he shouted at the person who came. Rumble! At this moment, heaven and earth shook, and a person appeared. It was the powerhouse of the heaven-trampling sect. Cloud-Eater ancestor, why did it have to be like this? He asked. Lord Emissary, the 3 of us failed to fight this boy and were harmed instead. The Cloud-Eater ancestor said painfully. The powerhouse of the heaven-trampling sect was furious. He flew to the sky and faced Yi Chun. However, after seeing Yi Chun's face, he was shocked. His expression was shocked, and then he was extremely excited. He looked at Yi Chun and blurted out with a trembling voice. You're that fellow, Yi Chun, who rampaged through the demonic disaster area and shocked the entire spirit realm? Chapter 1798. Senior Yi Chun, is that really you? The heaven-trampling sect envoy looked terrified. He looked at Yi Chun as if he was looking at a supreme venerable. He was extremely excited. Yi Chun looked at the envoy with a puzzled expression. How did this person know his identity? But since that was the case, there was no harm in admitting it. I'm Yi Chun. The moment Yi Chun admitted it, heaven and earth seemed to be frozen. At that moment, there was no sound at all. Everything was dead silent. Everyone looked like they were petrified as Yi Chun's name kept appearing in their minds. That's Yi Chun? The Yi Chun that the High Sect has been asking us to look for? How is this possible? There's something wrong with this person's appearance, and his temperament seems to be slightly different from the description. What's going on? The sorcerer goddess and the giant demon ancestor were both shocked. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. They were the patriarchs of the 3 overlords of the Qingzhou territory. However, once they met Yi Chun, they were like children. This was because Yi Chun was someone that even the patriarch of heaven trampling respected. He had personally sent an invitation to look for him. However, they were fighting Yi Chun now. Moreover, they were going to fight to the death. It was ridiculous. How do you know of my existence? Yi Chun turned around and asked the messenger of the heaven-trampling sect. This is what happened. The emissary of the heaven-trampling sect hurriedly stepped forward and bowed before cautiously replying. That day, Senior, you showed off your skills in the demonic disaster area. You attracted the attention of ancestral patriarch Sky Taming, who was in our sect. He secretly remembered your identity and appearance. You're from the heaven-trampling sect? Yes, I'm an elder of the heaven-trampling sect. My Dao title is Sage Walking Dao. I see. Yi Chun smirked lightly. He did not expect his name to be so famous that even the heaven-trampling sect, the overlord of the spirit realm, was looking for him. He turned to look at the crowd and said, Your eyesight isn't as good as this Reverend Dao Xing's. It's only because I've cultivated a supreme technique that my temperament and appearance have changed. That's why you can't recognize me. The sorcerer goddess, female ancestor, and the others nodded in agreement. When they heard Yi Chun say that he cultivated a supreme cultivation method, they were terrified. They thought that Senior Yi Chun must have mastered the cultivation method. If he used the cultivation method, would they not die without a burial place? At this thought, the faces of the witch god, the great devil ancestor, and the Cloud-Eater ancestor turned ashen. They knew that they had offended the almighty of the human race. In such a situation, it would be difficult for them to extricate themselves. Yi-Chen secretly smirked when he saw how dejected they were. Da-da-da. He walked over and stood in front of everyone. The cultivators of the Sunset Devour sect were completely dumbfounded and knelt on the ground on the spot. Many of those with insufficient cultivation directly prostrated on the ground like stray dogs. That was within Yi-Chen's expectations. Naturally, he did not need to care about such a useless person. Sunset Repast sect. You actually dare to be rude to me. I only wanted Zhao Dong to plead guilty. What are you going to do now? As Yi-Chen spoke, his aura swept out. His killing intent drowned everyone like a cold river. We know our mistakes. We know our mistakes. The cultivators of the Sunset Repast sect knelt on the ground under Taoist Ling Yun's lead. They did not dare to move and only shouted, "We know our mistakes. We know our mistakes." You know your mistakes? Yi-Chen's eyes turned cold. He turned around and grabbed Taoist Ling Yun. Senior, spare me. Senior, spare me. Taoist Ling Yun collapsed on the spot. The aura of condemning Yi-Chen earlier was gone. Instead, he begged for mercy like a pug. How dare you protect a scum like Zhao Dong? You deserve to die. Yi-Chen suddenly slapped his palm. Taoist Ling Yun was sent flying like a sandbag. He was severely injured and on the verge of death. Blood spewed out of his mouth continuously. His cultivation base could not resist Yi-Chen's palm at all. Zhao Dong was like a dead man when he saw this scene. He originally thought that he had only provoked a hidden powerhouse. But at this moment, he completely understood that it was the human almighty that even the Patriarch of Sky Trampler was looking for. He had once slaughtered everyone in the demon disaster area and even survived the demon lord's plot. No one touched him, but Zhao Dong vomited blood after suffering such a blow to his body. Patriarch Cloud Eater, do you know your mistakes? Suddenly, Sage Xing took a step forward and shouted coldly. Lord Emissary. Although the Patriarch Cloud Eater was only in the form of a primordial spirit, he could only kneel on the ground. Lord Emissary, save my life. I really didn't know that the person before me was Senior Yi-Chen. If I had known, forget about Zhao Dong. Even the entire Rosy Devouring sect would be handed over to you. The Patriarch Cloud Eater had lost any bargaining chips and had become a fish on the chopping block. How dare you offend Senior Yi-Chen? You're courting death. Senior Yi-Chen, I'll leave this person to you. Kill him at will. Hearing this, the Patriarch Cloud Eater was completely stunned. He ran to Yi-Chen and kept begging for mercy. Fellow Cloud Eater, I don't have to kill you. How is Zhao Dong now? Yi-Chen said with a smile. Zhao Dong. The Patriarch Cloud Eater turned around angrily and grabbed Zhao Dong, handing him over to Yi-Chen. Senior is magnanimous. The Rosy Devouring sect respects you greatly. I didn't expect to be misled by this bastard. At this moment, Zhao Dong's eyes were like dead ashes. He did not dare to look up at Yi-Chen at all. Go! Zhao Dong knew that Yi-Chen was swift and decisive. He would definitely die, so he could only fight with all his might to escape. Escape? The corners of Yi-Chen's mouth curled up slightly as he grabbed with his large hand. Rumble. Instantly, true origin energy mixed between heaven and earth, and mountains and rivers flowed in reverse. A huge handprint descended from the sky, pressing down like a mountain. There was nowhere to escape. With a blood-curdling scream, Zhao Dong was covered by the handprint on the spot. Soul-searching tactic. After Yi-Chen finished searching, the huge handprint descended and Zhao Dong was crushed into meat paste. An elder of the Rosy Devouring sect was crushed to death by Yi-Chen like an ant. Such shocking strength made everyone tremble. Where's my friend? Yi-Chen asked. Release Senior's friend immediately now. The Rosy Devouring sect roared. Yes. In a short while, a few disciples brought Dong Xian and the others over. Seeing the Patriarch of the Rosy Devouring sect kneeling before Yi-Chen, the people of the Rosy Devouring sect treated Yi-Chen like a ghost. Dong Xian, Zhenro, and the others were stunned. However, soon, they found out Yi Chen's identity. He's Yi Chen, the senior who stirred up a storm in the demon disaster area and killed everyone. How is that possible? Dong Xian and Zhen Ro revealed expressions of disbelief. At the same time, they were extremely shocked. Their feelings for Yi Chen changed rapidly. When they looked at Yi Chen, it was as if they were looking at a god. Yi Chen. Dong Xian's face was slightly red. Her feelings for Yi Chen were like a surging sea. End of this chapter. Chapter 1799. Senior Yi Chen. I, the Patriarch of Heaven Trampling, admire you very much. It's my honor to meet you here. Why don't you come to the Heaven Trampling sect for a chat? Venerable Dao Walker saw that Yi Chen was almost done with his business, so he stepped forward and said respectfully. Yi Chen nodded lightly and said, "Sure." The Heaven Trampling sect was one of the 3 top sects in the spirit realm, and they had the Patriarch of Heaven Trampling, a conjoint body almighty, in charge. He should get to know them. This would be of great help in finding the Patriarch of Hell and Yi Wushuang. Ha! The elder ancestor must be very happy to be able to invite a great being like you to the sect for a chat. Sage Xingxing was very excited. If he could invite Yi Chen back to the sect, he would have made a great contribution. Everyone was shocked to see that. They did not expect that even the Patriarch of Heaven Trampling would want to talk to Yi Chen. Just how powerful was this person's foundation? Just when everyone was about to watch Yi Chen leave, a mighty force suddenly descended from the sky and swept across the entire place. Yi Chen lifted his head to look at the sky. He saw 8 goddesses who looked like they came from a painting. They were carrying a jeweled sedan chair that was descending from the heavens. Sensing that this person had an extraordinary foundation, Yi Chen glanced sideways slightly. The palanquin landed on the ground, and inside it sat an elegant young master. This person had fair skin and a tall and slender figure. His face was like an ice sculpture carved from jade. He was a handsome young man. Ah, it's someone from the apex of bliss. The giant demon ancestor exclaimed. Everyone looked over, and their hearts trembled. Sure enough, he was a person from the apex of bliss. They did not expect that the people from Euphoria Summit would come here at this moment. Perhaps this had something to do with Yi Chen. Otherwise, they could not think of any reason for the people from the Euphoria Summit to come here. The Apex of Bliss was a super sect that was on equal footing with the Heaven Trampling sect. The leader of the Apex of Bliss, Blissful Scholar, was also an old monster at the conjoint body stage. His strength was not inferior to the Heaven Trampling Patriarch. Upon seeing this person's arrival, Daoist Dao, walking hastily, stepped forward to welcome him. I didn't know that the young master of the ecstatic apex had arrived. Apologies for not welcoming you earlier. Daoist Dao Xing stepped forward and greeted them with a smile. You're too kind, Sage Daxing. I'm here for an important matter. The man did not care about the people around him. Instead, he looked directly at Yi Chen. Yi Chen could tell from the man's eyes that he was definitely coming for him. Mid-stage, soul-splitting stage. Yi Chen muttered to himself. Sage Xingxing hurried over and introduced Senior Yi Chen. This is the young master of Euphoria, Qiu Wuyu. Yi Chen nodded lightly without saying much. Qiu Wuyu took the initiative to come over and smiled at Yi Chen. May I ask if this senior is Senior Yi Chen who rampaged through the demonic disaster zone and caused the demon lord to make a move? That's me, Yi Chen replied. Qiu Wuyu revealed a joyful expression and said, I've come to invite Senior Yi to my palace of bliss on the orders of my elders. That's interesting. I didn't expect that even the Heaven Trampling sect and the Euphoria Overdrive would want to have a chat with me. Yi Chen was curious. Venerable Dao Walker was taken aback as well. He did not expect that Qiu Wuyu would bring Yi Chen to the Euphoria Acropolis. How was he going to explain this to the Patriarch of Heaven Trampler? The atmosphere froze, and everyone was even more shocked. The Heaven Trampling sect and the Euphoria Apex want to have a chat with Senior Yi Chen. Apart from Senior Yi Chen, who else would have the honor to do so? That's right. Senior Yi Chen's reputation is unparalleled. The giant demon patriarch and the sorcerer goddess matriarch were shocked, let alone the Cloud Eater patriarch. Yi Chen had easily destroyed his physical body. Of course, he knew how powerful Yi-chun was. Ha! Young master, Senior Yi-chun has agreed to go to the heaven trampling sect with me. Oh, is that so? Hearing this, Chiu Wuyu was not surprised at all. This made Venerable Dao Walker a little puzzled. Did this person still have a trump card? Venerable Dao Walker hurriedly said before Chiu Wuyu could move. You and your Euphoria Acropolis are a bunch of lechers. Why are you inviting Senior Yi? Hearing this, everyone was stunned. It seemed like the two major sects were fighting over Senior Yi-chun. At this moment, Chiu Wuyu took out something. He smiled and said, Senior Yi, take a look at the token of my elder from the Euphoria Acropolis. It won't be too late to make a decision. Token? Yi-chun was surprised. He had no connection with the Euphoria Acropolis. Where did this token come from? He shook his head and asked, What token? I don't think I have anything to do with the Euphoria Acropolis, right? Ha! Senior, an old friend brought this to me to give to you. Oh! Yi-chun had a flash of inspiration, and some ideas appeared in his mind. When he saw Chiu Wuyu take out a plastic stick that was as long as a finger, he was elated. When everyone saw what Chiu Wuyu took out, they were very curious. What was it? There was no spiritual energy fluctuation on it. It did not look like a magic weapon either. Dong Xian, Zhenro, and the rest were especially curious. Ah! Yi-chun almost laughed out loud when he took the thing. He had a strange expression on his face and was speechless. Senior Yi-chun, what is this? Why aren't you talking? The sorcerer goddess stepped forward and asked. Yi-chun was speechless when he saw the sorcerer goddess' innocent eyes. Old woman, it's better not to ask, he said casually. The sorcerer goddess' heart skipped a beat, and she was petrified on the spot. The more she looked at the thing, the stranger she felt. She could not help but hurry back. So, the patriarch is at the Euphoria Acropolis. Yi-chun looked happy. As expected, the patriarch of hell must be at a place that was suitable for him. It was obvious that the old friend that Chiu Wuyu mentioned was naturally the patriarch of hell. As for this so-called token, he believed that any man on earth who had watched an action movie from a certain country would be able to recognize it at a glance. Haha, I didn't expect the patriarch to bring this to the cultivation world. What good taste. Yi-chun could not help but laugh out loud. He was secretly excited. Although everyone did not understand what was going on, they congratulated him anyway. I wonder if Wu Shuang is with him? Yi-chun turned to look at Venerable Dao Xing as he thought to this point. Venerable Dao Xing, I'm sorry. I really have something important to do at the Euphoria Acropolis. I'll have to arrange the meeting with the Patriarch of Heaven Trampler later. Senior Yi-chun, you're too kind. Your matter is more important. Venerable Dao Xing replied with a smile. Subsequently, Yi-chun turned to look at the Patriarch of Cloud Eater. Fellow Cloud Eater, can you take care of Dong Xian, Zhenro, and the rest? No problem. Don't worry, Senior. I'll definitely take care of them. The Patriarch of Cloud Eater was very happy, as if he had been pardoned. Senior, please. There's no need. Please enter by yourself, young master. Chiu Wuyu nodded slightly. He entered the sedan and ascended to heaven. Yi-chun looked at Dong Xian and the rest and nodded slightly. Subsequently, he stepped into the air and followed Chiu Wuyu's sedan. Dong Xian and Zhenro had complicated expressions as they watched Yi-chun leave. The ordinary disciple that they thought back then was actually the human almighty Yi-chun. He had once swept through the demon disaster area and shocked the spirit realm. What a magnificent feat! Chapter 1800. 2 hours later, following Chiu Wuyu's palanquin, Yi-chun finally arrived at the pinnacle of bliss. At first glance, countless golden rays reflected in his eyes. Yi-chun was stunned. When he looked again, it was as if he had fallen into a golden ocean. The pinnacle of bliss was not an ordinary luxury. Yi-chun took a step forward. His eyes were filled with magnificent jade pavilions and golden pavilions. The reason why the golden rays were so dazzling was that the road of the pinnacle of bliss was paved with gold. It was admirable. What kind of person was a master of bliss to be able to achieve such an extreme level? Stepping onto the golden road, Chiu Wuyu led the way while Yi-chun followed behind. Along the way, he shook his head slightly, feeling speechless. The pinnacle of bliss was not an ordinary tacky place. The master of bliss must be a character. Most cultivation places and innate abodes were made as simple as possible. At the same time, they would look for places with dense, spiritual chi and despise things in the mortal world. On the other hand, the top of bliss was the exact opposite. The golden road was forged from agate, and it was as if the top of bliss had been built 100 times more majestic than the imperial palace. Even some muddle-headed emperor in the mortal world would give a thumbs up if he saw it. Noticing Yi Chen's stunned expression, Qiu Wuyu could not help but laugh. Senior Yi, you may not know this, but the Master of Bliss was once a secular scholar. Back then, he was wanted for writing a rebellious poem about wanting to be an emperor. He had no choice but to escape deep into the mountains. From then on, he embarked on the path of cultivation and created the imperial lady Dao. Hearing this, Yi Chun was stunned. He did not expect the Master of Bliss to be a character. It was extremely difficult to rely on one's own ability to find the path of cultivation in this chaotic universe. One should know that it was easy to learn the cultivation method created by others as long as one was talented enough. However, to create one's own cultivation method, one not only needed talent, but also a strong foundation, comprehension, and practical experience. As a scholar, the Master of Bliss dared to despise the Emperor's grace and was not afraid of the Emperor's authority. This was a courageous act in itself. At the same time, he did not give up after failure. He was not discouraged and embarked on the path of strength to find his own cultivation method. This person's martial intent was not ordinary. What are you thinking about, Senior? Qiu Wuyu asked. Ha! I'm thinking that your Master of Bliss is a character. I can't help but think of a story from a planet. Yi Chun said with a smile. I'd like to hear more. Qiu Wuyu asked with great interest. Not everyone had the chance to consult a big shot like Yi Chun. Even a young master of the ecstasy climax couldn't ask for more. Yi Chun nodded slightly. Yi Chun nodded lightly. There was no harm in telling some stories to relieve boredom. Previously, in a place called Earth, there was also a scholar named Huang Chao. Huang Chao. What a peculiar name. I wonder if the things he did were peculiar. Huang Chao originally wanted to take the imperial examinations to ascend to the heavens, but he failed after many attempts. In the end, he became depressed and lamented that his genius could not be discovered. Thus, he wrote a poem to complain. When autumn comes on the 8th day of the 9th month, my flowers will bloom and all the flowers will be killed. The incense will soar through Chong, and the whole city will be covered in golden armor. Qiu Wuyu was overjoyed to hear this story. He didn't expect there to be someone on Earth like the Master of Euphoria, but he didn't know what his cultivation level was. In the end, Huang Chao revolted and led the revolutionary army to ascend the throne. Yi Chun laughed out loud. Although Huang Chao was brave, he was just a man. He couldn't escape the path of failure. Yi Chun laughed out loud and said, although Huang Chao is brave, he's just an ordinary man. He can't escape the path of failure. Yi Chun laughed. Although Huang Chao was brave, he was just an ordinary man. He couldn't escape the path of failure. A few golden characters were written on it in a flamboyant style. Impressively, they read, not obscene, not pleasurable, but cultivation. There were a few golden words written neatly next to it. It's not lust, it's not pleasure, it's cultivation. Beside it, there were several other neatly written golden characters. Yupai, duo yupai. These words might have been added at a later stage, but they showed the essence of the ecstasy reversal. What a despicable thing to say. Talent. Yi Chun thought to himself. He then looked at Qiu Wuyu. Ha! Did the last sentence come from the senior, who gave you the keepsake? Qiu Wuyu nodded with a smile and said respectfully, that senior's short sentence completely revealed the true essence of the Master of Bliss, so I admire him deeply. Huh? Qiu Wuyu nodded with a smile and said respectfully, that senior's short sentence completely revealed the true essence of the Master of Bliss, so we admire him deeply. Huh? Yi Chun almost fell to the ground. Birds of a feather flocked together. A god, like the Patriarch of Hell, would definitely come to such a place. Very good. Yi Chun and Qiu Wuyu entered the mountain gate together. The surroundings were filled with birdsong and fragrant flowers. Among the luxurious buildings, there were many beauties. Qiu Wuyu brought Yi Chun into a palace and retreated. Yi Chun looked around the palace after Qiu Wuyu left. The patterns on the walls were vivid. This is. Yi Chun was speechless again. The patterns exposed the Patriarch of Hell's character. He wondered if the Patriarch of Hell had left these murals behind. After waiting for a while, Yi Chun was ready to go out for a stroll. He felt a little nauseous looking at the murals. Thud, thud, thud. Suddenly, a series of soft footsteps could be heard. Subsequently, a group of beautiful female cultivators rushed over. Young master, young master. Every female cultivator called out, young master, young master. Anyone who heard it would feel numb and fall into it. However, what kind of person was Yi Chun? His martial Dao willpower was rare in this world. In his opinion, someone must have deliberately ridiculed him with such insignificant tricks. As he turned around, his aura exploded. The ancient god body's unique masculine energy shocked everyone. The group of female cultivators was shocked at first and retreated in fear. However, when they felt the masculine and mighty aura on Yi Chun's body, they were even more attracted. They stuck close to him in all kinds of ways. Some of them even tried to touch Yi Chun. They were about to kiss him. This. Yi Chun was speechless. Initially, he wanted to rely on his ancient god body's aura to keep these arrogant people away. However, he did not expect to attract them instead. It was true that the flowers planted intentionally did not bloom, but the willows planted unintentionally grew. He was helpless and could only berate them sternly. All of you, step back. In his anger, his killing intent was awe-inspiring. Many female cultivators immediately trembled and retreated, not daring to stay. Old ancestor, what are you doing? However, Yi Chun smiled bitterly at the front. Subsequently, laughter came from afar. Ha ha ha! The Patriarch of Hell appeared. Oh, Patriarch, your cultivation base is already at the great perfection soul splitting stage? Yi Chun was shocked. It was not an exaggeration to describe the Patriarch of Hell's cultivation speed as divine. End of this chapter. Chapter 1801. Ha ha! Fellow Taoist Yi. Looking at the surroundings, you still don't know why I've improved so quickly. The Patriarch of Hell laughed out loud as he walked over and hugged Yi Chun. Clearly, he was elated. That's true. Yi Chun could only smile awkwardly. The Patriarch's Tao of imperial women was already invincible in the world. In a place like Euphoria, he was like a fish in water. In addition, the Patriarch's talent was outstanding and he cultivated well. There was an explanation for his rapid cultivation. The two of them walked towards the main hall together. As they walked, they couldn't help but feel a sense of loss. Patriarch, there was a problem with the teleportation portal back then. How are you doing? Yi Chun asked. The Patriarch of Hell was also emotional. During this period of time, he had been asking about Yi Chun all the time. Now that he had met Yi Chun today, he had to explain everything to relieve his frustration. The old ancestor said bluntly, something happened to the three of us in the teleportation formation, and I was teleported to a small village under the ecstasy peak of the spirit realm. Coincidentally, when I was heavily injured, a young widow came to visit me. A meaningful smile appeared at the corner of the Patriarch's lips as he spoke to this point. Yi Chun raised his brows and laughed at the same time. As the saying went, when a man and a woman were alone, trouble was bound to arise. Moreover, this was the old ancestor Yellow Spring. Seeing Yi Chun smile, the Patriarch was very happy. As expected of a confidant, Yi Chun instantly understood the direction of the plot. In 2 or 3 days, your ancestor, took down the young widow on the spot. It is the jade dragon that overturns the rivers and overturns the seas, dripping with sweat and sprinkling with rain. At that moment, Yi Chun coughed. Ha ha ha. The Patriarch of Hell laughed out loud. Yi Chun was too serious. Otherwise, he would have asked Yi Chun to cultivate the Imperial Lady Dao with him. Damn it. Later on, there was a rumor of adultery in the village, and the village chief found out. He brought people to drown us in a pig cage. Patriarch Yellow Spring smirked disdainfully. How dare such a lowly person touch me? That widow pleaded for leniency for them. Only then did the old ancestors spare their lives. However, this matter was secretly reported by someone, and the news reached the apex of extreme bliss. Something like this had happened at the foot of the mountain gate. The Euphoria Apotheosis had made a move. So that's how you guys know each other, Yichin said as he came to a realization. Yeah, no discord, no concord, the Patriarch said with a smile. How could those juniors from the apex of bliss be a match for me? In fact, I didn't even need to do anything. All I did was casually say a few words, and they all submitted. Just like that, the matter was blown out of proportion and reached the ears of the Lord of Bliss. At that time, the scene was magnificent. Everyone thought that it was going to be a great battle. Everyone thought that I would die in the hands of the blissful scholar. Ha ha! The old ancestor laughed here, talking about his past events. This was a type of hunting. How could they ever have imagined that just as everyone thought that I was about to die, I would unleash an incredible charm that not only seduced women, but men as well? Yichin almost vomited. The Patriarch of Hell's taste was getting more and more outrageous. He was wondering if he should stay away from the Patriarch, or he would be infected. Looking at Yichin, the Patriarch could not help but blush no matter how thick-skinned he was. Cough, cough, cough. That's not what I meant. I know. Yichin chuckled. I got to know the blissful scholar through a fight, so I became his senior brother. Later on, I followed him to the apex of bliss and was on equal footing with him. Patriarch, the title of junior brother shouldn't be that simple, right? Yichin said in surprise. Of course. The old ancestor patted Yichin's shoulder. He was in a great mood. It was the best thing in life that his brother understood him so well. The Patriarch of Hell winked and said, while smiling, that's because my Imperial Women Dao is from the same sect as this brat. It was left behind by the blissful old man. Back then, the blissful old man ascended to the immortal world with 3,000 female cultivators and left behind the 3,000 Imperial Women Dao. Coincidentally, the old ancestor and the blissful brat obtained it. He then exclaimed, although I've never met that brat in my past life, I naturally wouldn't fight him since we both cultivate the Imperial Women Dao and we're both experienced. Instead, we're very close. I see. Yichin came to a realization, but he looked speechless. He thought to himself, no wonder the two of them are so compatible. They're the same. It turns out that their master is not a good person. How is it? Isn't it exciting? That's quite exciting, Patriarch. I knew you'd like it. Yichin initially wanted to say that he did not like it at all, but he could only nod when he saw the old ancestor's eyes. After listening to the story, it was time to get down to business. Yichin asked, did Wu Shuang find it? The Patriarch of Hell's expression gradually became serious as he spoke to this point. He shook his head and said, as soon as I arrived at the apex of bliss and found my footing, I started looking for the two of you. I used all kinds of connections and channels to search for you. It took a long time. Later on, I heard that there's a void refinement cultivator called Yichin in the Demon Disaster area who likes to devour spiritual veins. He even killed the Demon Emperor and alerted the Demon Lord, causing chaos in the demon tribe. I knew it was you as soon as I heard it. Apart from you, who else has the ability to move around the Demon Disaster area at the void refinement stage? Later on, I heard that you were plotted against by a demon lord and sent into the void. To be honest, I was a little worried at that time. However, I thought about it. If it were anyone else, they would definitely die. However, it was you, Yichin, a person with supreme luck. It was impossible for you to die, so I continued to search for you. Cough, cough, cough. Yichin's expression changed. His sensing ability definitely surpassed ordinary people by many levels. Although the old ancestor wanted to hold it in, Yichin immediately realized something was wrong when he heard the few coughs. He saw that the old ancestor's face was slightly pale and his body was even trembling. Yichin asked, are you injured? It's not serious. The old ancestor waved his hand and continued, I heard that you were plotted against. I was furious at that time, So I encouraged Junior Brother to go to the demon disaster area with me to see who dared to plot against you. We found that demon lord and fought a few times. Haha, I didn't expect that kid to be so capable. Seeing the old ancestor forcefully enduring the pain and talking to him, Yi-chun was touched. Don't worry, old ancestor. If I don't take revenge, I'm not Yi-chun. The two of them looked at each other and smiled. Their resolute hearts were connected. Yi-chun, since we've met, it's necessary to find Wu Shuang. However, you don't have to worry. With my relationship, it's only a matter of time before we find him. Wu Shuang should be in the spiritual realm. Old ancestor, I understand. Yi-chun nodded. At this moment, Chiu Wuyu walked in and said respectfully, Senior Yi, Martial Uncle, Master invites you. Yi-chun's eyes flashed. Did the Ecstasy Master, the Ecstasy Scholar, want to see him? Chapter 1802. Under Chiu Wuyu's lead, Yi-chun and the Patriarch of Hell were brought to a secluded place. It was the blissful scholar's residence. The surrounding space was deep and quiet. It was a valley. The decorations were different from the outside world. It was different from a Euphoria Acropolis's gate. This place was like a secular world, like a farmyard. Yi-chun could not help but wonder who the blissful scholar was. Yi-chun unconsciously looked at the Patriarch of Hell. The latter was stunned as he did not know what Yi-chun meant. In fact, Yi-chun thought that the Patriarch of Hell was more like the master of the Euphoria Acropolis compared to the outside world, while the person in front of him was like an otherworldly immortal. Senior Patriarch, the person reading in front, is my master, the master of the Euphoria Acropolis. Chiu Wuyu gestured for the two to enter. Yi-chun nodded slightly. To the Patriarch of Hell, the blissful scholar was someone he was familiar with. However, to Yi-chun, it was different. He was curious. He was curious how a person who could live in such an environment could become the master of the Euphoria Acropolis. At a glance, there was a person sitting in the distance. The person was dressed like a scholar. He was dressed in white and looked gentle. Yi-chun could not associate the person in front of him with the word blissful. If it was not for the introduction, Yi-chun would not have thought that the elegant young man was a cultivator of the Tao of Imperial Ladies. Both of you, please. The blissful scholar stood up and personally welcomed Yi-chun and the Patriarch of Hell. The two of them sat down under the blissful scholar's invitation and started chatting. You're the blissful scholar? Yi-chun asked. Haha, that's me. You must be the Patriarch's best friend, the genius Yi-chun who broke into the demonic disaster area alone and shocked the entire demon clan. I dare not. Yi-chun shook his head. Don't be humble. We're all passionate people. We're the Patriarch's senior and junior brothers. Since you're the Patriarch's best friend, we're also brothers. This. Yi-chun was stunned. He did not expect the blissful scholar to be so passionate. No wonder he was with the Patriarch of Hell. Haha, Yi-chun, don't worry. Treat this place as your home, the Patriarch of Hell said. Since that's the case, I won't stand on ceremony. Yi-chun was not a pretentious person. After he sat down, a maid served fine wine. This fine wine contains a lot of spiritual qi. Please have a taste. Thank you. Yi-chun picked it up and took a sip. He instantly felt refreshed and happy. It was an indescribable feeling, but it was great. I wonder if the blissful scholar knows the way to the spiritual world? Upon hearing that, the blissful scholar was slightly surprised. He did not expect Yi-chun to ask about such a high place in the spiritual realm. The blissful scholar said frankly, You're right to ask me. There's a way to the spiritual realm. Yi-chun was overjoyed. It seemed like the blissful scholar lived up to his name, as he knew so much about such secrets. To be precise, there are two methods, but both are as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Initially, the blissful scholar thought that his words would make Yi-chun depressed. However, when he looked at Yi-chun, he realized that Yi-chun was not affected at all. His heart was filled with doubt. This child was indeed extraordinary to be able to become close friends with the old ancestor. Difficulty is not a problem. Please enlighten me, Yi-chun said. The blissful scholar said, The first method is to find the passage between the spiritual realm and the spiritual realm. However, This passage is occupied by the demon tribe, and human cultivators can't enter at all. The second method is to ascend. Once you enter the ascension stage, you'll be able to sense the location of the spiritual realm and ascend to the spiritual realm. Yichen shook his head slightly. Do you think ascension is that easy? This time, he was really discouraged. These two methods were as difficult as ascending to the heavens, just like what the blissful scholar said. At this time, the blissful scholar smiled and said, "You've come at the right time, Brother Yi. I've decided to hold the Ascension Assembly in a month's time to attempt to break through to the Ascension stage." Ascension? Yichun was shocked. Had the cultivation base of the person before him reached such a high level? He could not help but look at the Patriarch of Hell, hoping for an explanation. Brother Yi, you might not know this, but the path of the Imperial Lady is very different from other paths. It's more about cultivating one's temperament. Junior Brother Blissful has already returned to his natural state. His many years of accumulation are incomparably deep. Indeed, he can attempt to break through the barrier of ascension. Hearing the Patriarch of Hell's bluntness, Yichen looked at the blissful scholar with more admiration. The three of them hit it off and had a pleasant conversation. Since Brother Blissful has the temperament of ascension, I, Yichun, must watch this event. I'll keep you company then. After that day, a piece of news spread from the Blissful Summit. It was that the master of the Blissful Scholar would hold the Ascension ceremony in a month's time. Such news could be said to be a big deal. All the spirit stage cultivators were shocked. Did you guys hear it? The master of the Blissful Summit, the Blissful Scholar, is going to ascend. That's unbelievable. Such an almighty will definitely make the spirit stage look new. I like to see if those demons still dare to be arrogant. That's right. Once an almighty who ascends appears, the demon clan will definitely flee and not dare to make a move. The people of the spirit stage all hoped that the Blissful Scholar would succeed in ascending. If that happened, they would have more confidence in fighting against the demon clan. The demon disaster area was even more restless. Many demon lords had sent all kinds of spies to the human settlement to understand the situation. This was because once the Blissful Scholar ascended, he would definitely break the balance between the humans and the demon clan. The situation was extremely critical. The demon clan could not just sit back and watch. As the saying went, a storm was brewing. Do you guys think that the Blissful Scholar's ascension is true or false? In the demon disaster area, a demon lord asked. The other demon lords shook their heads. They were not very confident about this matter. Although we can't confirm if it's true or if the humans purposely spread the news to distract us, this matter is too serious. We have to be careful. That's right. It's better to believe it than not. The demon lords came to a consensus that they must stop the Blissful Scholar from ascending. In the following month, Yi Chun temporarily stayed in the Blissful Summit. He cultivated leisurely every day and was very happy. At the same time, in the Holy Shadow clan in the demon disaster area, the palace was empty, and Dugiyu stood alone in front of a memorial tablet, feeling dejected and dejected. Tears kept flowing down her face. She muttered, Brother, ever since Yi-Chun left, she had been sad. She had always thought that Yi-Chun was still alive. However, the memorial tablet in front of her made her disheartened. That feeling was the pain of losing a loved one. No one could understand, and no one could comfort her. After Yi-Chun left, Dugiyu's life also took a nosedive. Rumble. Suddenly, Dugaming barged in with some people. P.S. There's one more chapter. I'm writing it now. Please wait a moment. Chapter 1803. What are you guys doing here? Seeing Dugaming and the rest, Dugiyu felt a sense of desolation and anger. Back then, it was these people who bullied him and his sister. Now that Yi-Chun had left, they still came to make trouble. Dugiyu questioned coldly with anger written all over her face. Dugaming smiled sinisterly and walked to Dugu Han's memorial tablet. What are you doing? Dugiyu was shocked, realizing that something bad was about to happen. Stop him! At Dugaming's command, a few cultivators came to stop Dugiyu. Subsequently, Dugaming slammed his palm and the memorial tablet was knocked to the ground. UB asterisk starred. Dugayu was completely enraged. That was his brother's memorial tablet. If he was really dead, did he not even have the right to rest in peace? Get lost. With a roar, Dugayu unleashed her demonic energy, pushing away the few demonic cultivators around her. Subsequently, she charged at Dugaming. However, seeing Dugayu charging at him, Dugaming only smiled coldly. This was what he had been waiting for. Kill. Dugaming moved in an instant and struck out with his claws. Dugayu wanted to dodge, but Dugaming was too fast. At least, compared to Dugayu, he was too fast. After all, there was an obvious gap between their cultivation bases. Die! Dugayu unleashed her potential, wanting to fight Dugaming. You're courting death. Dugaming smirked and dodged to the side. Subsequently, he grabbed Dugayu's neck with one hand. Dugayu could not stop moaning. Her expression was terrible because Dugaming was intentionally grabbing her. Even breathing became difficult. Dugayu's body slowly floated into the air. The situation was dire. Dugaming, she might be dying. That's not good, is it? The cultivator next to him asked. Get lost. Dugaming's hatred for Yi-chun was too deep. Since Yi-chun had left, he could only vent his anger on Dugayu. The few cultivators dared not come closer. Dugaming continued to torture Dugayu. Little b asterisk tch, you think you can kill me? I could tolerate it when Dugahan was protecting me. However, things are different now. He's dead, haha. My brother won't die. Dugayu struggled with all his might. His face was pale, and he was out of breath. What? You call him brother? Dugaming sneered. Do you really think that Dugahan was your brother? He's just a human cultivator, Yi-chun in disguise. No, he is my brother. How could he give up the only thing he could rely on? Dugayu had to persevere to the end. No matter what the truth was, Yi-chun was her brother in her heart. How pitiful. Your brother died long ago. Dugaming laughed heartily as he signaled the two people beside him with his eyes. The two of them supported Dugayu and escorted him into the Holy Shadow Tribe's prison. He personally watched as Dugayu was thrown in, revealing a pleased smile. Bitch, just stay here obediently. 3 days from now, I will publicly punish you in front of all the clansmen. I will extract your soul and peel your bones. Before leaving, Dugaming lectured fiercely. Dugayu's face was filled with anger, but her heart was filled with extreme fear. She initially thought that her brother was talented and would be able to make a name for himself soon. However, this was the outcome after returning. How could she not be sad? Of course, everything in front of her made her gradually understand that the so-called Dugahan might really be fake. Her brother might really be dead. After Dugaming left, Dugayu's tears flowed down uncontrollably. Brother, why did you lie to me? Why did you lie to me? Her cries echoed in the cold dungeon. It was exceptionally miserable. Dugaming reported to the Demon King of the Holy Shadow Tribe. Demon King, I've done as you instructed. This little girl is very difficult to deal with, just like her brother, Dugaming said. The Demon King of the Holy Shadow Tribe sat on the high seat and nodded slightly, expressing his satisfaction. Then he laughed coldly and said, This Yi-chun is a person who values friendship and knows what he loves and what he hates. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come back for revenge after leaving the Devil City for plotting against him. This kind of human will definitely be angered by what happened to Dugayu. Demon King is wise. I know this person the best. He'll definitely come, Dugaming agreed. Ha, Dugaming, you've done well. Thank you for your compliment, Demon King. Dugaming, will definitely do my best and do everything for you. The Demon King patted Dugaming's shoulder and nodded slightly. Then, he turned around and looked outside the door. Guards! Demon King. A guard walked in. Send someone to spread the news that Dugayu is imprisoned in the Holy Shadow Tribe's death cell. I don't believe the human cultivator will just sit back and do nothing. Yes. The guard nodded and left. The news spread quickly and reached Blissful Scholar. Taoist Yi, this is not a joke. You must think twice, Blissful Scholar said. Yes, Taoist Yi. Do you really want to go to the demonic disaster area to fight to the death? She's just a female demon. Do you really think that you're her brother? Patriarch Hell also tried to persuade him. You don't have to say anything. I must save this person. Yi Chen's attitude was firm. This made Patriarch Hell and Blissful Scholar very puzzled. How did Yu manage to make Yi Chen so determined? Both of them walked over and looked at Yi Chen meaningfully. Daoist Yi, what happened between the two of you? Why do you insist on saving her? Blissful Scholar asked. The demonic disaster area was an important place for the demon tribe. Back then, he and Patriarch Hell had fought there, but they did not manage to escape unscathed. The Patriarch was heavily injured, and he himself was almost severely injured. This time, Yi Chen wanted to go back personally to save Yu. This behavior was really shocking. Therefore, he strongly advised Yi Chen not to go because he knew how dangerous the demonic disaster area was. Yes, Daoist Yi, tell us, what's your relationship with that girl? Otherwise, how can we believe in your will? Patriarch Hell asked. Yu is Han's sister. She's kind and has no bad intentions. At that time, Han wanted to ambush me, but I killed him instead. After that, I used Han's identity to enter the Holy Shadow tribe, and the person I met was Yu. Yi Chen told them about his life with Yu. Yu took good care of Yi Chen, and the relationship between them was like that of a brother and sister. After such a long story, Blissful Scholar and Patriarch Hell were stunned. They did not expect such a thing to happen. Now you should know how I feel. What kind of person am I? Patriarch, you should know how important kindness is to me, right? That's true. Patriarch Hell nodded. Then there's no need to say more. End of this chapter. Chapter 1804. The Patriarch of Hell looked at Yi Chen with mixed feelings. Naturally, he knew that Yi Chen valued friendship the most. After all, Yu and he had been siblings for such a long time. He understood Yi Chen's choice. All right, I support you. The Patriarch patted Yi Chen's shoulder and said, Thank you, Elder Ancestor. Obtaining the Patriarch's support meant a lot to Yi Chen. If that's the case, I won't stop you, said the Blissful Scholar. Yi Chen nodded lightly and set off. In the Devil Disaster area, the various demonic tribe cultivators were much more vigilant than before. There were guards everywhere to prevent people like Yi Chen from sneaking in. However, that was just on the surface. There were too many ways for Yi Chen to enter the demon disaster area. Yi Chen boarded the sword boat and sped forward. After 3 days and 3 nights, he arrived at the demon disaster area. The security of the demon disaster area is much tighter than before. He looked down from the peak and muttered to himself. Since that's the case, how about I use the same trick again? He jumped down from the peak. Ever since he cultivated the ancient god body, his immortal demon rotation mysterious art had also improved. This was the benefit of having a powerful body. The ancient god body was one of the most profound body-refining cultivation systems. After mastering it, not only would one's cultivation base and strength increase greatly, but the body's adaptability would also undergo a qualitative change. Now, Yi Chen could use the cycle of a mortal demon more easily than before. Listen up, all of you. We have to work hard. Only then will our Holy Shadow tribe have a chance to stand out. Yes. Yi Chen smirked lightly when he heard the voice. God is helping me. Whoosh. Yi Chen flew down and stood in front of the demon inspection team directly. Just as the demonic dwellers were in a daze, so. The light of the sword, Qi, sealed their throats. Dong, dong, dong. Most of the demon cultivator squad fell to the ground on the spot dead. Only the squad leader was still alive. Why, you're Yi Chen. That's me. The corner of Yi Chen's lips curled up slightly. Subsequently, he moved and covered the top of that person's head with his palm. Soul-searching art. ZZZ. All sorts of information entered Yi Chen's mind. In the blink of an eye, he understood the demon's past. Qi. With a sweep of his sword fingers, the demonic being fell to the ground. Yi Chen transformed into a demon and walked forward. Holy Shadow Tribe's camp. Yi Chen was filled with emotions when he returned to this place. This was the place where he had recuperated, and also the place where Yu had taken care of him. He was finally back, within the Holy Shadow clan's death prison. Dugaming walked into the death cell and saw Yu. Is it comfortable staying in this death prison? He asked with a sneer. Why are you here? I don't want to see you. Dugu hugged his chest and sat on the ground, looking extremely miserable. However, her eyes were still cold. She looked at Dugaming as if she wanted to eat him alive. For a young lady to act like this, it was clear how much she hated Dugaming. I have good news for you this time. Good news? Ha! The sun really rose from the west for you to bring me good news. Dugu naturally did not believe such nonsense. I'm here to tell you that I've already spread the news that Dugu has been imprisoned by the Holy Shadow Clan. That ye guy will be here to save you soon. As he spoke, Dugaming's face was filled with a sinister smile. Hearing this, Dugu shook her head with a bitter smile. You already said that he's not my brother. Why would he risk his life to save me? Rumble. Suddenly, the ground shook violently. A powerful energy disturbed the space. Dugaming hurriedly threw himself out of the dungeon. His eyes stared straight ahead, his heart trembling. He saw that the person had returned. He was Yi Chun. After entering the Holy Shadow Clan, he no longer concealed his identity because he had returned this time to take revenge. Mastery of the ancient god body, killing 3,000 demons. Rumble. The ground continued to shake. Even the mountains in the distance were crumbling and the rivers were flowing in reverse. Yi Chun had descended upon the Holy Shadow Clan. He was high and mighty like a judge. He said to the stunned Holy Shadow Clan members below, Human cultivator Yi Chun is here. Today, I've come to destroy the Holy Shadow Clan. Lowly demons, come out and accept your death. His voice was like a great bell, shaking all directions and startling the 9 heavens. The demons in the Holy Shadow Clan heard Yi Chun's voice. It was like thunder piercing their ears, causing them great pain. Ha ha, this Brett really came. The Demon King laughed loudly and appeared with all the Holy Shadow Clan's fighters. This was a trap for Yi Chun. However, how could Yi Chun not know? He was coming. Yi Chun, you're dead. Dugaming looked at Yi Chun from afar and shouted gloatingly. Yi Chun's eyes turned cold. Instantly, a formless murderous aura filled Dugaming's psyche. Dugaming was like a frightened rabbit, jumping up and down on the spot. Ha ha ha. A coward like you dares to talk about my life and death? In a moment, I'll let you understand what real life and death is. After saying that, Yi Chun attacked directly and fought the Holy Shadow Clan's fighters. Kill! The Demon King spoke. The Holy Shadow Clan's fighters attacked one after another. Level 6 Mageweth. Level 5 Mageweth. Level 5 Mageweth. The Holy Shadow Clan's fighters took out their own Mageweth and kept unleashing their secret techniques at Yi Chun. A bunch of trash, Scram. However, Yi Chun's real opponents had never been these so-called fighters. They were not worthy of Yi Chun's attention. Void Quake, Sky Overturning Seal. Yi Chun roared and gathered energy in the void. Hand seals formed one after another, overturning heaven and earth. He attacked at the same time. Rumble. Suddenly, the void screamed and heaven and earth shook. Rumbling handprints descended from the sky and shot out from the ground. Countless devil race experts were like ants, toyed with by this earth-shattering power. Yi Chun was like a towering giant, unstoppable. Screams rang out and blood flowed like a river, dyeing the entire Holy Shadow Clan red. The Demon King of the Holy Shadow Clan was shocked. A group of fighters was killed by Yi Chun. Seeing this scene, Dugaming knew very well that Yi Chun's current cultivation base was far stronger than when he was in the Holy Shadow Clan. He was a monster. He ran at full speed, trying to escape. Leave? What a joke. Yi Chun's eyes were murderous. With a quick step, he teleported and appeared before Dugaming. Seeing that Yi Chun was like a mountain crashing down on him, impossible to pass, Dugaming was in despair. Yi Chun, spare me, spare me, spare me. Dugaming was captured by Yi Chun and kept begging for mercy. He even said that they used to be comrades, saying all kinds of shameless things. Trash die. Yi Chun was furious. He raised his right hand high and punched, kill. Chapter 1805. He's really here. Is it really him? Brother, it must be brother. In the dungeon, Yu heard the battle cries outside and was already shouting Yi Chen's name. She was extremely excited. She did not expect it to be, as Ming said. Yi Chen had come to save her. No, he's not my brother. However, at that moment, she suddenly realized that her brother was really dead. That person was not her brother at all. Painful memories and emotions intertwined as Yu fought with herself. On one hand, she hated Yi Chen for lying to her. But on the other hand, she was touched that Yi Chen had risked his life to save her in such a dangerous situation. How could she end this feud? Yu did not know. Rumble. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The dungeon door suddenly burst open. A person walked in, and his aura swept through, killing all the prison guards. Thud, thud, thud. Yi Chen strode into the dungeon and walked toward Yu's cell. Die. Suddenly, a prison guard pressed a switch. Demonic energy surged in the dungeon. Flying arrows shot through, and poisonous fog filled the air. All sorts of traps were trying to kill Yi Chen. Buzz, buzz, buzz. However, Yi Chen's body shone brightly like starlight. How could he block the might of an ancient god? You want to hurt me with such traps and poisonous fog? Yi Chen suddenly turned around and locked on to the person who set the trap. Ah, the demon was stunned. His body slowly slid down and knelt on the ground. You want to live by kneeling? Die. Yi Chen's eyes flashed, and the true samadhi fire was released from his eyes. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The flames burned, and there was no corpse left. The remaining prison guards did not dare to come forward and ran away in fear. Yu. Yi Chen called Yu's name, but she did not respond. Instead, she hid in the depths of the dungeon. She did not know how she should face Yi Chen. It was too difficult. The Holy Shadow Tribe was in complete chaos. The Demon Emperor had led many powerhouses to ambush Yi Chen, but they did not expect that they would become the prey. Many powerhouses were crushed by Yi Chen, and the Demon Emperor died on the spot. The Holy Shadow Tribe fell into endless fear. No one dared to stop Yi Chen. Kacha! Yi Chen condensed energy from his fingers and pointed at the chains before him. They all shattered. Yu. He had long since discovered Yu hiding in that corner. Don't come over. Yu shouted. Don't talk nonsense. Follow me immediately. Yi Chen did not want to waste time, so he came over and pulled Yu out. Yu didn't know how to face it, so she could only lower her head and follow him. Walking out of the dungeon, Yi Chen saw Yu's complicated expression. He knew what she was thinking. Why did you lie to me? Why? Yu questioned Yi Chen with all her might. Yi Chen was speechless as he looked at the weak girl before him. He was also touched and did not know what to say. In the end, Yi Chen did not want to lie to her anymore. He said bluntly, "Back then, I mistakenly entered the demon disaster area and encountered danger. This was my only choice. Only then could I return with the Holy Shadow Tribe and recover from my injuries. Don't lie to me. I won't believe you anymore." Yu screamed, "Run." She did not want to be with Yi Chen because it would make her feel terrible. She could not accept herself like this. The previous Han really didn't exist anymore. His real brother had left. Yu. Yi Chen shouted, "Don't call me. I won't listen. I won't listen." Yu was already in chaos. That brat is over there. Suddenly, a large number of demons arrived. The news of the Holy Shadow Tribe had reached the demon army headquarters. The demon lord had sent a large number of demon army reinforcements. Still trash. Yi Chen was too lazy to talk to them. He threw out the immortal slaying flying saber. "Clean up the scene. Make it clean," Yi Chen said. "Master, no problem." The immortal slaying flying saber had been holding back for a long time. It flew out in an instant. The saber and the sword were merciless. Swish, swish, swish. Countless demons did not even see what it was before their throats were slit, their blood and vital energy severed. Blood condensed into a river on the ground. The entire Holy Shadow Tribe had become a graveyard for the demon tribe. Seeing this scene, the demons who were shouting to kill were all stunned. They retreated slightly, not daring to move forward. Even the demon lords and demon emperors looked at Yi Chen as if they had seen the Grim Reaper. This person's cultivation base is many times higher than before. How did he cultivate in such a short time? A demon emperor asked. Everyone shook their heads. They only knew about Yi Chun when he was in the Holy Shadow tribe. I think this person is extraordinarily talented. Back then, he was hit by the Demon Lord's palm and did not die. There's a famous saying among humans: those who survive a great disaster are destined for good fortune. That's right. This person must have had some fortuitous encounter. His cultivation base has made a qualitative leap. We are no match for him at all. The Demon Emperors discussed. They knew that they were no match for Yi Chun and did not dare to act rashly. As the saying went, surround but do not attack. They just watched. This scene was interesting. The Demon Emperors led the Demon Tribe army and ran after Yi Chun but did not attack. If outsiders knew about such a funny scene, they would laugh their heads off. This was the Demon Tribe army, known for its ferocity, but they were so timid that they were afraid of a human cultivator. Duguyu. Yi Chun strode forward and pulled Duguyu. In this demon disaster area, 1 more minute was naturally 1 more minute of danger. Why are you still calling me? Has my brother been killed? The soul interrogation had finally come. Yi Chun was stunned, but he had already prepared himself. What was there to be afraid of? Just as Yi Chun was about to answer, dark clouds suddenly appeared in the sky. The world shook and a powerful aura pressed down. Yi Chun's face froze. He immediately sensed that this was the Demon Lord arrival. It seemed that in order to deal with him, the Demon Tribe had gone to great lengths. Yi Chun, you brat, you really dare to come. Today, you will die without a doubt. The Demon Lord's arrival sent chills down people's spines. The Demon Emperors were overjoyed when they saw this. They thought that their mission had finally been completed. Not letting Yi Chun leave was the greatest merit. A mere Demon Lord dares to be so presumptuous toward me? As soon as these words came out, the entire place fell silent. Yi Chun was so arrogant that he did not even care about the Demon Lord. The *M in it. The Demon Lord was furious. He used all his strength and swore to kill Yi Chun. Come on. Yi Chun was not afraid. The power of his entire body spread through his limbs and bones. The ancient god, Might, was awakened. Rumble. Behind Yi Chun, an incomparably huge ancient god apparition appeared. He still had a complete 1-star ancient god lattice. So what if he was facing the Demon Lord? The Demon Lord threw out various high-level magic tools, and at the same time, released his most powerful divine ability to kill Yi Chun. Destroy. At this moment, the ancient god spoke. A powerful divine power suddenly descended and suppressed Yi Chun. With a painful cry, one of the Demon Lord's arms was cut off by the ancient god apparition on the spot. The Demon Tribe was shocked. P.S. The 3rd chapter. I promised 2 chapters yesterday. The reason I only updated 1 chapter was because of the power outage. So, I'll update 1 more chapter today. I apologize to everyone. Chapter 1806. He gazed into the depths of the void. At that moment, the world fell silent. The great Demon Lord of the Demon Clan had his arm broken by Yi Chun, a human cultivator. What a shocking and humiliating thing this was. There was an uproar. Everyone was shocked, and their eyes were filled with disbelief. Is this person even human? Aren't humans very weak? How could he cut off the Demon Lord's arm? That's right. Why is this happening? Aren't we demons invincible? Lord Demon Lord is already like this. We're no match for this person at all. Going up is suicide. The demons were already scared out of their wits by Yi Chun. There was no fighting spirit left. At this soul-stirring moment, Yi Chun was like a god of war, unstoppable. The Demon Lord held his bleeding wound and looked at Yi Chun coldly. Ha ha! The Demon Lord suddenly laughed. What are you laughing at? Lowly human cultivator. Do you really think you could defeat me like this? You haven't seen my strength yet. The Demon Lord suddenly revealed a ferocious expression, and his entire body began to swell. Oh! Yi Chun revealed a look of disdain. No matter what the other party did, he would die today. He crossed his arms and did not care what great divinity the Demon Lord was brewing. He just watched. He wanted to prove to the Demon Lord that the strength of the human race was unimaginable. You idiot. If you attacked me just now, I might not be able to complete my transformation. But it's different now. I've successfully transformed. You're dead. lowly human cultivator. The demon lord's entire body emitted a powerful might, just like a mortal weapon. The surrounding space trembled rapidly as if they had entered a purgatory world. Everything here was under the demon lord's control. This is the demon lord's supreme divinity, demonic transformation technique. Once activated, its power is limitless. It can absorb all the demonic energy in the surrounding space and transform it into its own power, allowing its body to grow continuously. That's right. As the body grows, the demon lord's power will continue to strengthen, even surpassing its previous limits. This is a type of divinity similar to a forbidden technique. I didn't expect the demon lord to use it on Yi-chan. This person should be honored to die under this divinity. Haha, this human cultivator must die. The holy tribe is invincible. Many of the demon warriors regained their confidence and started to shout. Meanwhile, Yi-chan stood where he was, still looking at the gigantic demon before him with disdain. Hee, you're really confident, huh? But in a bit, I'll let you understand that in front of this demon master, you're just an insignificant existence. In the territory of the demon race, there's an endless amount of demon chi for me to absorb. You have no chance at all. You talk too much nonsense. Trash like you only need one move. What? One move? The demon master's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. Not only was he shocked by Yi-chan's arrogance, but he was also furious to the extreme. Arrogant brat, I will crush you. The demon lord roared as his aura exploded forth. His entire being was like the reincarnation of a demon god. At this moment, no matter who the person in front of him was, he would be completely destroyed. Dong, dong, dong. The demon lord's huge figure continued to charge forward. With every step he took, the earth trembled and the mountains and rivers surged. Everyone from the devil race retreated. They knew that once this form of the devil lord exploded, its might would be unimaginably high. Once they were affected, they would either die or be severely injured. Thud, thud, thud. The devil race army retreated 3,000 feet away and continued to watch. They wanted to see the demon master crush Yi-chan and then kill him. Yi-chan stood where he was and closed his eyes slightly. Haha, are you ready to die? Lowly human, you're nothing more than this. The demon master sneered. As he charged forward, his sharp claws began to gather Pandora demon energy. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The surrounding Pandora demon energy continued to gather toward the demon master's body. Although he was determined to kill Yi-chan, Yi-chan's cultivation base was advancing too quickly, which made him wary. Therefore, no matter what, he had to use all his strength to completely obliterate Yi-chan. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. At the same time, there was a shocking change on Yi-chan's body. Waves of chi and blood rushed through his meridians. At this moment, an incomparably tall figure appeared behind him. It was like Pangu splitting the heavens, majestic and unparalleled. Kill. The demon master did not care about anything else. He only had one goal, and that was Yi-chan. Obliterate. 6 paths of reincarnation, heaven and earth in my palm. Scorching heavens and melting earth. Heavenly thunder annihilation. Yi-chan used both his fists and palms. He was like a god of heaven and earth, the master of the sun and moon. At this moment, his body exuded a supreme divine aura that only an ancient god had. It was not until the last moment that the demon master truly felt the supreme might, supreme dignity, and supreme power of Yi-chan's body. Only then did he realize how insignificant he was. No matter how tall his body was, what was the use? Rumble. The energy of his fists and palms soared into the sky and suddenly moved. Yi-chan's feet sank 3 feet into the ground, and the mountains and rivers behind him moved 15,000 feet. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding space exploded rapidly, and endless energy swept through the world. The devil race army that had gone 3,000 feet away and thought that they were safe finally realized that death had arrived. Cries of pain rang out continuously. Tens of thousands of devil army soldiers were shattered and completely destroyed. At the same time, the powerful demon master that had rushed over had already vanished into thin air. Only a rain of blood fell. In the rain of blood, Yi Chun stood alone like a ghost. The surviving devil race members were scared out of their wits when they saw this scene and completely lost their souls. Dong, dong, dong. They all knelt down and worshipped Yi Chun. You trash, what are you doing? Are you still from the devil race? Just as those people knelt on the ground and worshipped Yi Chun continuously, thunder rumbled in the sky and dark energy filled the air. Following that, the dark clouds opened and the two demon masters descended at the same time. It's the two demon masters. We're saved. Get up. Our savior is here. The two demon masters have descended and killed Yi Chun. At that moment, everyone got up one after another. They had hope again. They were wild with joy and danced for joy. A bunch of idiots, Yi Chun said coldly and disdainfully. At the same time, the two demon masters descended. The aura emitted from both of them was even above the demon master from before. They faced Yi Chun at the same time. Brat, we heard that you've returned. We rushed over to collect your corpse. Collect my corpse? I don't think you even had the chance to collect the corpse of the demon master from before. You're the same. The two demon masters' auras were so violent. They did not expect Yi Chun to be unafraid and even mock them. However, after the two of them saw the rain of blood, one of them sniffed it and realized the origin of the rain. They were shocked. End of this chapter. Chapter 1807. The void trembled, and heaven and earth shook. The two great demon masters who had descended looked at each other and realized the reason for the existence of this blood rain. Anger rose in their hearts. You dare to turn the demon lord's body into a rain of blood. One of the demon masters questioned Yi Chun forcefully. I stand alone between heaven and earth and control the power of all living things. Killing you demons is like slaughtering pigs and dogs. Why wouldn't I dare? Yi Chun responded forcefully. You are too arrogant. You shameless human cultivator. You will die without a burial. The two great demon masters were infuriated by Yi Chun's words and completely lost control. Kill! Murderous cries rang out, and the world was filled with dust. This kind of lineup caused the devil cultivators to be endlessly shocked. A human cultivator was actually able to confront two great demon masters so arrogantly. Was this still something that a human could do? So. The figures of the two great demon masters moved instantly. Their speed was as fast as lightning. Yi Chun stood alone in the battlefield. He moved slightly, and his power exploded. Demon killing wave, mad killing. One of the demon masters directly used the famous move of the demon race, the demon killing wave. At the same time, through self-modification, the divine ability mutated, and it was 100 times more terrifying than the ordinary demon killing wave. ZZZ. After the demonic killing wave gathered energy, it attacked Yi Chun. That's great. This demon killer wave. Frenzy is the demon lord's ultimate killing technique. It contains 18 variations. Yi Chun would never be able to calculate so many possibilities. With this technique, Yi Chun has already fallen into a predicament. The demon master is indeed the demon master. Don't think that you can defeat another just because you defeated one by luck. You even have to fight against two. Ha! Yi Chun is too arrogant. This ending is inevitable. The demon tribe army was overjoyed once again. The battle prowess of the two demon masters had merged, far surpassing the previous demon master. No one thought that Yi Chun would be able to leave alive. Useless move. The crowd gasped in amazement at such a terrifying technique. However, to Yi Chun, it was merely a formality. Yi Chun moved slowly as a Tai Chi symbol appeared under his feet. Ride the wind, gravity. His exquisite movement technique seemed to be aided by the gods, and his innate body was as mighty as an ancient god's. ZZZ. The demon-killing wave rushed forward, as if it was unstoppable. Ha! Yi Chun, no matter what you do, you'll still die. The demon master who launched the killing form laughed. In his mind, Yi Chun had long lost the opportunity to avoid the killing form. Once the opportunity had passed, Only death was left. Brat, just wait for your death. The other demon master also agreed. Just when everyone was watching Yi Chun die, Yi Chun suddenly opened his eyes that were as bright as stars. So. Yi Chun's figure was like a gale as he spun rapidly in the air and advanced. At the same time, the Tai Chi diagram under his feet transformed into countless variations. This was the inevitable process of dealing with the demonic killer wave, killing frenzy form. Z. When the Tai Chi was formed, Yi Chun activated the gravity spell. At the same time, coupled with his incomparably powerful ancient god body, at this moment, the four tails could move 10,000 tons. Z. The mad killer wave actually began to bend. Then, following Yi Chun's guidance, it changed its direction of attack. What? Seeing his own demon-killing wave changing direction and returning to him, this strange scene caused the demon master to turn pale with fright. Retreat! The demon lord shouted. The other demon master was still waiting to watch Yi Chun's show, but at this moment, he was stunned and quickly retreated. As the two retreated, the demon-killing wave was much faster than them. How could they retreat? Z. The demon-killing wave attacked them. At the same time, the two demon masters activated their mental cultivation method and demonic shield, hoping to resist. Rumble! With a shocking explosion, the demon-killing wave suddenly burst out. The first to be hit was the person who had released the demon-killing wave. His whole body was bleeding. His bones and muscles were separated. The pain was indescribable. This boy is dangerous. Don't be careless. Sigh. The demon master who had released the demon-killing wave sighed loudly. His whole body was in unbearable pain. As for the demon master army, they were completely scared out of their wits. The demon-killing frenzy form was this demon master's ultimate killing move. In front of Yi Chun, it was like child's play. The other party easily resolved it and even backfired on him. What was going on? Even the two demon masters can't do anything to Yi Chun? Is this aimed at a... It can't be. The demon clan fell into a state of emotional depression. They had completely lost their spiritual support and were listless. The killing sounds here were too wild. Many demon clan people had come over. Seeing such a scene, how could they accept it? How about it? Yi Chun flew high up in the sky and shouted at the demon masters below. Damn it, go! The two demon masters abandoned the battle and left. Such an action stunned everyone. Demon masters are running away. This was a devastating blow. The demon clan loved to fight and were not afraid of death. This was the core of the demon clan. However, the two demon masters in front of them abandoned the battle at the same time. It was really shocking. Want to leave? Not so easy. Yi Chun smirked. It was impossible for them to leave without his permission. Ninth heaven you steps. With a cold shout, Yi Chun's figure seemed to have entered a different space. On the ground, only his footprints were left, and his figure was lost. Where's that boy? The demon masters were shocked and asked. However, no one could answer him because Yi Chun had already arrived in front of him. Rumble. True origin force poured out like a flood. At the same time, the powerful physical energy of the ancient god body played a role at this moment. The wind Yi Chun created as he moved could make the demon masters feel like their skin was being cut. Such a violent scene would make even the demon masters of the demon clan terrified. This boy is too violent. Let's go quickly. As demon masters, since we can't leave, why should we persist? I swear I'll kill this boy today. The heavily injured demon master turned to fight Yi Chun again. Such an action shocked the demon clan, but could he really do it? All the demon clan people put their hopes on this demon master. The demon master did not let them down and directly used a powerful forbidden technique. The demon clan's ultimate weapon, great heavenly demon disintegration. The demon master roared loudly. Then, his body turned dark and expanded. Demonic energy soared into the sky. Chi. Blood spurted from his body continuously. His body had entered the countdown to self-destruction. He had no other choice but to die with Yi Chun. You want to self-destruct and die together? In your dreams, Yi Chun soared to the ninth heaven, and his aura reached the ninth earth. ZZT, ZZT, ZZT. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. The shadow of an ancient god reappeared behind Yi Chun. It was majestic and boundless. Creation as work, all things as bronze. Absolute saber technique. The immortal flying saber in Yi Chun's hand shot out like a stream of light. Its speed had already surpassed the range that the demon warrior's eyes could track. Kill. The immortal flying saber integrated the power of creation of heaven and earth. It was the power of an ancient god to destroy the world. It was unstoppable. One slash cut through the mortal world. Chi. Blood dripped. The demon died. End of this chapter. Chapter 1808. A demon master was dead. The demons were shocked. 2 demon masters had died in Yi Chun's hands. How terrifying was this person's strength? The other demon master did not dare to step forward to stop him. Demon, this is just a warning. If you dare to do anything again, your end is near. With that, Yi Chun flew away with Duguyu. Watching Yi Chun leave in such a domineering manner, the demons fell into despair. With such a powerful human, how could they dominate? Everything was fleeting like passing clouds. Many demons shook their heads and fell into despair. Yi Chun quickly left the demon territory with Duguyu and came to a hidden forest. "Put me down, you liar!" Duguyu yelled, tears falling from her eyes uncontrollably. She was very conflicted now. She did not know how to deal with Yi Chun. He was a benefactor who had saved her life, but at the same time, he might be the murderer who killed her. All kinds of emotions surged out, causing her to burst into tears. "Tell me, did you kill me?" Duguyu calmed down a little and turned to question Yi Chun. Yi Chun was silent at first, not knowing what to say. However, she had to know the truth sooner or later. "Dugahan died in my hands." "Murderer!" Duguyu flew into a rage and attacked Yi Chun. "Kill!" The murderous voice was filled with determination, making Yi Chun's expression change slightly. It seemed that Duguyu was in pain after losing her brother. Yi Chun stood where he was, motionless. Duguyu was shocked. She did not expect him to not move. This attack could have been easily dodged. Boom! Duguyu punched Yi Chun. She thought that Yi Chun would be injured. After all, he did not defend at all. However, the truth shocked her and made her despair. Her attack did not have any effect on Yi Chun. What was going on? Although Yi Chun had killed the demon masters, that was a head-on battle. Now that Yi Chun did not use his energy or move, how could she not hurt him? In order to vent the anger in her heart, Duguyu attacked crazily. However, everything had happened too suddenly. Yi Chun had not unleashed his power, but the ancient god body's innate strength rendered Duguyu helpless. She did not even have the strength to harm a single hair on Yi Chun's body. That was what Yi Chun had told her. After all, Dugahan had died in his hands. At the same time, Duguyu had been really nice to him during the time they spent together. "Originally, I didn't plan to kill him, but Dugahan sneak attacked me, so stop it." Duguyu knew that Yi Chun would not lie. Everything was destined. She squatted on the ground and cried bitterly. Sigh. Yi Chun could only sigh. He did not expect things to turn out this way. However, since he had told Duguyu the truth, he felt relieved. Logically speaking, Duguyu was originally a member of the demon clan, so Yi Chun should not have anything to do with her. However, after spending so much time together, Yi Chun still could not directly cut off those feelings. Yi Chun was such a person who valued relationships. At that moment, Duguyu stood up and walked to Yi Chun. "Yi Chun, don't think that this is over. I can't kill you now, but I'll work hard to cultivate. When I'm strong enough, I'll find you for revenge. I'll find you for revenge. Do you understand? It's not too late to kill me now. Otherwise, you'll regret it." Duguyu's eyes were filled with anger and murderous intent. "Go," Yi Chun said. If the determination for revenge could allow Duguyu to live on, it might not be a bad thing. Yi Chun did not care at all about Mou's revenge. With the ancient godhead and the ancient god body, he was not afraid of any existence in this world. "All right," Duguyu shouted and turned to leave. After watching Duguyu leave, Yi Chun shook his head and left as well. Yi Chun had caused such a commotion in the Holy Shadow tribe this time. It had completely alarmed the core authority of the demon clan. The entire demon disaster area was shaken. They sent more demon clan masters to strengthen their defenses and search everywhere for Yi Chun's whereabouts. The remaining demon lords of the demon clan had joined forces to find Yi Chun to seek revenge. People of the demon clan, you're looking for me, but I'm looking for you. Yi Chun directly left the demon mountain range and entered a gathering place of the demon clan. Demons were cruel and had killed who knew how many heroes of the human clan. How could Yi Chun not take revenge for such a clan? Rumble. The earth shook and the sun and moon lost their light. In the sky above the gathering place of the demon clan, Yi Chun rode on the sword and saber. What's that? Under the cover of the sword and saber, no one could see his figure clearly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. However, in just one exchange, the sword chi exploded and hundreds of demon clan people under Yi Chun's gaze were annihilated. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The sword chi cut their throats and blood splattered. The entire scene was covered in blood. The stench of blood permeated the air, causing the demon clan to attack one after another. Who dares to be so arrogant here? A demon lord rushed out and shouted at Yi Chun, who was in the sky. Do you think you're worthy? Yi Chun's eyes widened. Immediately, the true samadhi fire came. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The powerful true samadhi fire swallowed the demon lord like a flaming beast. A painful scream rang out. How could the demon lord resist such violent true samadhi fire? He was burned to death on the spot. Not even his bones were left. Seeing this scene, the demon clan was shocked and clamored to find powerhouses to take revenge. I'll wait for you here. Yi Chun stood on the cloud of sword chi like a god, judging everything. At this moment, the two demon emperors of this gathering place appeared at the same time. Who are you? How dare you be so arrogant here? Surrender immediately, and we'll leave your corpse intact. One of the demon emperors walked out and shouted at Yi Chun. Ha ha ha, you even know me. Do you deserve to be called demon emperors? Yi Chun withdrew the sword chi cloud and revealed his appearance. You're the human cultivator who shook the demon disaster area. Yi Chun? One of the demon emperors immediately recognized his appearance. It was the person wanted by the demon clan, Yi Chun. Yi Chun smirked slightly and looked at the demon clan below as if he was looking at ants. That's me, Yi Chun. He took the initiative to admit his identity and suppress them. D*M*, attack. One of the demon emperors ordered. Countless demons attacked one after another, wanting to crush Yi Chun. A bunch of trash. Ants die. Yi Chun laughed maniacally. These people did not even have the chance to meet him. Heaven-burning, melting hand. Without mercy, he burned the heavens and melted the earth. Instantly, the true samadhi fire swept out like a violent dragon, sweeping across the entire place. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Under the true samadhi fire, countless demons turned into ashes and dissipated completely. All of you die. Yi Chun was like a fire dragon passing through, leaving nothing alive. The two demon emperors wanted to fight him, but they died on the spot the moment they met. After destroying the clan, Yi Chun entered the cave and forcefully absorbed the spirit vein. Chapter 1809. The news spread quickly and set off another earth-shattering wave. In a military hall of the demon tribe, an intelligence soldier rushed in. Demon Master, we found the location of the human cultivator Yi Chun. He killed one of our demon tribe guards. What? Damn it, this damned human. The demon master was furious. He slammed the table and stood up, his eyes bloodshot. If we don't get rid of him, the demon tribe will never have peace. Follow me and kill him. Yes. The demon masters joined forces and flew out on their earth demon beasts. At this moment, Yi Chun, who was in the spirit vein, had already absorbed all the spirit vein and improved his foundation. He left this place. When he left, he suddenly found a group of people moving hurriedly, as if they were carrying out some mission. The one leading them was a demon king. He had an aggressive aura and was shouting to kill. Are you in a hurry to reincarnate? Why are you in such a hurry? What? The Demon King was marching quickly when he suddenly heard a human voice in the sky. He was furious and turned to see Yi-chan standing on the ancient tree. Ah, you're Yi-chan. The Demon King was shocked. Of course. Yi-chan flew down. The immortal slaying flying saber was like a stream of light. In the blink of an eye, all the demon tribe soldiers were beheaded. Dong! Yi-chan flew down and grabbed the Demon King's shoulder. No matter how that person struggled, it was useless. He even felt his demonic energy being forcefully absorbed by Yi-chan. You're a human cultivator. How can you absorb demonic energy? Haha, your vision is too shallow. How can you know the wonders of this world's cultivation methods? With that, Yi-chan directly activated the immortal demon transformation technique and transformed into a Demon King. The Demon King was shocked. No wonder they had been trying to catch him, but could not catch him. This person's cultivation method was amazing. You should be on your way. Yi-chan suddenly clenched his hand and released the soul-searching tactic. Instantly, the Demon King lost consciousness and was at his mercy. After searching his soul, Yi-chan quickly found out where these people came from. It turned out that this Demon King was the Holy Demon Tribe's messenger. He was responsible for conveying the Holy Demon Tribe's orders. His purpose this time was to convey the information about collecting the demonic tripod to the surrounding demon tribes. The so-called demonic cauldron was the cauldron of the demon race's body. It was usually used to store demonic thoughts. Collecting the demonic cauldrons? They didn't do this before. Now that they're doing this, it seems like the demons have realized the danger they're in. Yi-chan pondered. It seemed like the other party wanted to use the demonic cauldron to summon a demon almighty from the demonic realm. Such an act was extremely dangerous. Initially, Yi-chan wanted to return to the Euphoria Crest, but after receiving this danger signal, he understood that he could not just leave like that. Z. Yi-chan unleashed the immortal demon rotation, celestial technique, and transformed into the Demon King's appearance. He carried on with the Demon King's token. This time, he wanted to explore the fiend race's headquarters. He had not found a good way to ascend to the spiritual realm. Previously, he had received information from Blissful Scholar that the demon race was guarding one of the ascension passages. He really wanted to see what that passage looked like. At the same time, he also wanted to destroy the demonic cauldron. He must not let the demon race summon the demon world's almighty beings to the mortal world. Otherwise, if a mighty figure were to descend to the lower realm, it would definitely bring unimaginable danger to the spiritual realm. Meanwhile, at the Euphoria Crest, Blissful Scholar and the Patriarch of Hell had been discussing the situation of Yi-chan's trip. I heard that Yi-chan caused an even bigger commotion this time. He even killed the Demon King. The Patriarch of Hell said, "Yeah, Yi-chan is too arrogant this time. Killing the Demon King is an irreconcilable grudge against the demon race. If the remaining Demon Kings disregard their status and go after him, Yi-chan will be in danger," the Blissful Scholar said. "What do you think of their strength? I'll be frank. If the remaining Demon Kings of the demon race join forces, they can even fight against a passing Calamity Stage powerhouse. Is he really that powerful?" Of course. Although he was emphasizing the Demon King's strength, the Blissful Scholar admired Yi-chan very much. With his own strength, he killed the Demon King and shocked the entire demonic disaster area. Even people like them who were far away could hear the shocking news. He could not help but admire such a magnificent feat. Hee, Blissful Scholar, you're always arrogant and think that you're invincible. Now that you've seen Yi-chan, what do you think? The Patriarch of Hell asked proudly. This man's talent is rare in the world. I admit that he's definitely above me. In time, he'll definitely become a super powerful human. The Blissful Scholar said bluntly. Ha ha ha. The Patriarch of Hell laughed and continued. I've known Brother Yi for the longest time. This man is extremely talented. Since his debut, he has killed many powerful beings. What you said makes sense. Junior brother, where is the passage to the spiritual realm guarded by the demon race? The Patriarch of Hell asked with a smile. However, the Blissful Scholar smiled without saying a word, which made the Patriarch of Hell depressed. Yi Chen transformed into a Demon King rank demon and moved forward. Along the way, he encountered a group of demons. Who are you? How dare you walk around here? The leader was also a Demon King rank demon. He immediately ordered his men to surround Yi Chen. Being surrounded by so many demons, Yi Chen did not change his expression at all. Instead, he showed a disdainful expression. Who are you? How dare you be so arrogant? The demon asked. Look at this. Yi Chen took out the token and showed his identity. After seeing the Holy Demon Tribe's token, the Demon King knelt on the spot with an extremely respectful expression. It turned out that the Holy Demon Tribe was the most respected existence in the demon race. Although they were all Demon Kings, the tribe that the Demon King in front of them came from was obviously inferior. Where are you from? Yi Chen asked. Lord Messenger, we're all from the Shungtan tribe. The Demon King answered with his men. What's your purpose this time? Hearing this question, the Demon King gritted his teeth as if he was very angry. He said, Lord Messenger, we're here to find the whereabouts of the human cultivator. Human cultivator? What's the matter? Lord Messenger, this person caused a stir in the demon disaster area. He killed countless demons, and even the Demon Emperor and Demon Master. He's simply impossible. If this person is not eliminated, the demon disaster area will never have a day of peace. As he spoke, the Demon King's expression was extremely angry. How could such a thing happen? How hateful! I must eliminate this person personally. Yi Chen roared. Lord Messenger, you're so brave. The demons all bowed respectfully. Yi Chen nodded slightly, but he was sneering in his heart. This group of idiots was really easy to bully. Following the Demon King, Yi Chen arrived at the gate of the Shungtan tribe. At a glance, there was a formation light screen at the entrance of the city. It shone with a strange light and was very special. What's this? Yi Chen asked. The Demon King of the Shungtan tribe explained. Lord Messenger, this is the spirit manifestation mirror. Everyone who enters the city has to look at it to prevent the human cultivator from sneaking in. Once the human cultivator is illuminated, his true form will be revealed. Chapter 1810. Hearing this, Yi Chen's eyes flashed. This spirit manifestation mirror was quite mysterious. He did not know if his spell would be seen through. However, he had already come this far. With Yi Chen's personality, why would he turn back? Dong, dong, dong. With firm steps, Yi Chen led the way in front of them. Behind him were the people from the Saint Tan tribe. To be able to follow the Lord Messenger was a great honor for them. Who are you? Suddenly, the guard in front stopped Yi Chen and asked loudly. Yi Chen's eyes turned cold, revealing a formless killing intent. The demon was stunned. As the appraiser, he was a respected person in the Saint Tan tribe. Who would dare to look at him like this? Who was this person? He could not help but frown. Looking at Yi Chen, he wondered if this person was some noble person. Behind him, the Demon King from the Saint Tan tribe walked out. What do you mean? The Demon King roared at the appraiser. Lord Demon King, who is this person? I've never seen him before, the appraiser said. What do you know? This person is the Saint Demon tribe's messenger. Hearing this, everyone was shocked. The identity of the Saint Demon tribe's messenger was extraordinary. The appraiser quickly went forward and bowed. I didn't know it was the Saint Demon tribe's messenger. Please forgive me. The demon bowed. It's not too late to know now. Yi Chen replied coldly. Yes, but this appraisal was requested by the demon tribe's higher-ups. Please, Lord Messenger. The demon made a please gesture as if he wanted Yi Chen to confirm it. Are you going to treat me the same as you lowly demons? Yi Chen flew into a rage and unleashed his aura. His powerful demonic technique shocked everyone present, causing them to panic. Lord Messenger, please calm down. That Demon King hurriedly came over to smooth things over. He naturally understood that although they were both Demon King level battle generals, the strength of the Demon King of the Holy Demon Tribe was not something he could hope to match. The gap between the two of them was obvious. Whoever dares to stop me, die. Yi Chen threw out an ultimatum. Still not moving? The Saint Tan Tribe's Demon King shouted at the appraiser. Yes, Although the appraiser had a position, it was only for ordinary demons. Against a Demon King rank warlord, he was nothing. Lord Messenger, please, go. Yichen walked straight ahead with a domineering aura. Behind him, the emissary wiped the sweat off his forehead as he mocked himself for being irrational. He had actually insisted on having the Saint Devil race's Demon King battle general. Lord Emissary, I'll bring you to meet the elders of the Shungtan tribe. All right. Yichen followed the Demon King to a huge palace. It was where the Shungtan tribe's elders' council was located. Please. And Yichen nodded lightly and walked into the main hall. This hall was enveloped by the power of darkness, and majestic might was enough to intimidate one's soul. However, this was nothing to Yichen. His Pandora demon ability far surpassed these Shungtan tribesmen. Elder! The Saint Tan Demon King entered the palace and ran in front of an elder. Black Wolf, what is the meaning of this? Are you bringing outsiders into the Great Hall? The elder asked in annoyance. Elder Azure Lion, this person has an extraordinary identity. He's the envoy of the Saint Demon tribe. He's here to discuss important matters. Black Wolf whispered urgently. What? An envoy of the Holy Devil race? Elder Azure Lion heard this and stood up to welcome him. Ha ha! He laughed loudly as he walked toward Yichen and said, The envoy of the Saint Demon tribe has arrived. Please forgive me for not welcoming you earlier. Yichen sneered in his heart. It seemed like the Saint Demon tribe was the most respected existence in the Demon tribe. A mere envoy could make the Saint Tan tribe's elders so polite. And he nodded coldly and did not reply. This made the Saint Tan tribe's elders' heart tremble. Was it because he had neglected the envoy? Lord Emissary, please take a seat. Elder Azure Lion invited Yichen to the throne that he had been sitting on. Yichen did not refuse and sat down. Elder Azure Lion and the Black Wolf Demon King sat below. Lord Emissary, may I know why you've come to the Saint Tan tribe? Elder Azure Lion asked respectfully. Yichen glared at him coldly, causing the elder to shudder. Do you know about the demonic cauldron? Demonic cauldron? Elder Azure Lion and the Black Wolf Demon King were shocked when they heard the name of the demonic cauldron. Lord Emissary, are you here to look for the demonic cauldron? That's right. Recently, the human cultivators have caused a huge commotion. The heaven-trampling sect, the Euphoria Apex, and other major forces are all ready to make a move. There's even news that the leader of the Euphoria Apex, the Blissful Scholar, is about to go through the heavenly ascension. Yichen looked at Azure Lion and the Black Wolf Demon King angrily. Lord Emissary, we're concerned about you every day. However, we don't dare to do anything. Elder Azure Lion quickly said, That's right, Lord Emissary. The Saint Tan tribe has always been loyal to the Saint Demon tribe. Please calm down, Lord Emissary. The two of them expressed their loyalty. Yichen sneered. All right, I trust you too, Yichen said with a smile. Thank you, Lord Emissary. Thank you, Lord Emissary. The two of them said at the same time, almost kneeling on the ground. Since you know my mission, you must cooperate fully, understand? Of course. We'll do our best to cooperate with you, Lord Emissary. Very well. Tell me everything you know about the demonic cauldron. I see. Elder Azure Lion revealed a troubled expression. What do you think? Yichen shouted. Elder Azure Lion, we can't be selfish at a time like this, Black Wolf said. All right, we have a good candidate for the demonic cauldron in our tribe. He's an extremely talented warrior. He'll definitely be useful if we want to summon the demon tribe's almighty. Very well, bring me to him now. Yes. Elder Azure Lion and the Black Wolf Demon King shook their heads. It was not easy for their tribe to have such a talent, but now he was going to be sacrificed. Yichen followed the two out and walked to a palace. Pai, bring your son out now, Azure Lion said. Elder Azure Lion, what do you mean? After seeing Yichen, the demon sensed that something was wrong. Cut the crap and bring him out, Black Wolf shouted. If you don't tell me the reason, I can't bring him out. Pai replied forcefully. What a joke. Do you know who this is? He's the Saint Demon tribe's emissary. How dare you disrespect the Lord Emissary? The atmosphere suddenly froze. It was as if a fight was about to break out. Yi Chen walked to the front and said, "I'm the Saint Demon Tribe's emissary. I'm here to find a candidate for the demonic cauldron." Hearing this, Xiongpai locked his cold eyes on Yi Chen with deep hostility. He knew very well that the best cultivation vessel in the tribe was his son. "My son isn't here. Leave. Not here. Search. How dare you?" Chapter 18:11. Xiongpai yelled and stood in front of him. Hei Lang was furious. "Father, what's going on?" At this moment, a young man dashed out and stared at everyone with his eyes wide open. "Lord Messenger, this is the right person," Hei Lang said. "All right, take him away." Yi Chen waved his hand. "Yes." Hei Lang wanted to grab a young man, but was stopped by Xiongpai. "Hei Lang, what are you doing? Didn't you hear the Lord Messenger's order? It's your son's honor to be a cauldron for a demon almighty. Don't you want it? My son doesn't need to be a cauldron. He just needs to cultivate." What a joke. Hei Lang attacked, and Xiongpai did not back down. The two started fighting. Yi Chen looked at the young man. His bones were indeed amazing, and there was powerful demonic energy flowing in his meridians. If he did not get rid of him, he would become a cauldron for a demon almighty. "What are you looking at?" The young man glared at Yi Chen and asked. "Ha ha ha, young man, you have to come with me this time." Yi Chen smiled. "Who do you think you are? How dare you ask me to go with you?" Yi Chen raised his brows. He did not expect this young man to be so arrogant. "Lord Messenger, please calm down. Let me do it." To get on Yi Chen's good side, Elder Azure Lion attacked immediately and subdued that brat. Then, he flew toward Xiongpai and helped Hei Lang suppress him. "Xiongpai, don't be stupid. Since the Lord Messenger is here, you have to give your son to us for the glory of our clan," Azure Lion said coldly. "Azure Lion, why don't you give your son to us? I want it too. Unfortunately, my son is not cut out for that." Ha ha ha, what a joke. How many years has it been since our Shungtan clan had a genius young man? Don't you think it's funny that he has to be a cauldron? This, Azure Lion and Hei Lang were speechless. However, there was nothing they could do at this point. "You talk too much. Take him away," Yi Chen said. "Hei Lang, take the kid away." "Yes." Azure Lion suppressed Xiongpai, while Hei Lang left with the demon young man. Xiongpai wanted to fight back, but it was no match for the Indigo Lion. It was subdued on the spot. As for the demonic youth, he was sealed by the Black Wolf, unable to speak or move. He was in extreme pain. Yi Chen did not want to be so cruel, but he had no choice. In a race war, the interests of the human tribe would always come first. After leaving with the young demon, Yi Chen returned to the Elder's palace. "Lord Envoy, do you have any other instructions?" Black Wolf asked. There's nothing else. I'm taking this person away." "No problem. We will definitely follow Lord Envoy's orders." "All right." Yi Chen nodded and left the Saint Tan clan with the young man. Not long after they left, the experts of the demon race descended. "Who are you?" the appraiser asked. "Get lost." The great demon general was instantly enraged. His aura surged violently, and the appraisal emissary was sent flying 300 meters away, almost dying on the spot. No one dared to step forward. They hurriedly reported to Elder Azure Lion. "Elder, this is bad. Someone's trying to break through. The appraiser has been knocked unconscious." "What?" The Indigo Lion was enraged. Although the Shungtan clan was not a noble demon clan, they would not allow others to trample on them. He attacked with Black Wolf. After seeing that person, the two of them immediately felt a sense of pressure. This person had a strong foundation. The pressure of his aura was that of a demon king. "Did you see a Saint Demon Tribe envoy?" the demon king asked. "Yes, we have. We have already sent out the cauldron." "Please calm down, Lord Demon King." "Sent out the cauldron?" When the demon king heard this, he was instantly shocked. "You bunch of trash, you have been tricked. The real envoy has been killed. That person is an imposter." Everyone was shocked, and their faces turned pale. "You bunch of idiots. If the demon realm almighty cannot descend, all of you will die." The Shungtan clan fell into panic. The demon king was furious. "Search for that person immediately. That person is Yi Chen, whom you're looking for." "Idiot. So he is Yi Chen? Damn it. Azure Lion and the rest were furious. They had been tricked. At this moment, Yi Chun had brought the kid deep into the mountains. Kid, I was going to kill you, but seeing that there is no grudge between us, I will destroy your demon bones and turn you into an ordinary person. You can no longer be a cauldron. Live a good life as an ordinary person. Roar. The demon clan kid bit madly, wanting to attack Yi Chun. Demons are really violent. So what? For the human clan, this is your life. Yi Chun grabbed the top of the demon's head and immediately searched his soul to change his fate. Following that, he pulled out the spine from the demon's spine. Ah, the demon screamed. He was not fated to be a cauldron in this life. Go. Yi Chun flew away. About 2 hours later, the people from the Holy Tan tribe arrived, but they only saw the unconscious young demon. Damn it, this Yi Chun deserves to die. He deserves to die. Azure Lion roared at the sky. The genius of their Shangtan clan was crippled and could only be an ordinary person for the rest of his life. According to this plan, Yi Chun visited many demon tribes. Taking advantage of the information asymmetry, he extracted many people's spine and completely destroyed those cauldrons. The demon realm almighty has descended? What a joke. In the end, Yi Chun completed his mission and was ready to return. At the edge of the demon disaster area, Yi Chun saw the demon clan army moving. It seemed like they were about to take action. At this moment, at the apex of bliss, the patriarch and blissful scholar received news again that Yi Chun had stirred up a storm in the demon disaster area. Not only did he save Dugayu, but he also walked around the major demon tribes and destroyed the demon realm's cauldrons. The demon lords were shocked and swore to kill Yi Chun. Ha! I didn't expect Yi Chun to not have enough fun. Blissful scholar said with a smile. Of course, for the human clan, this kid is willing to go through fire and water without hesitation. The patriarch of hell said. Blissful scholar showed a look of admiration. Since the ancient times, it was not enough for the human clan to give their all for the human clan. The current Yi Chun was completely qualified to be called a human clan almighty. I wonder if the remaining demon lords will find Yi Chun. I hope they won't. Blissful scholar's worry was also the patriarch's worry. Although Yi Chun's strength was unfathomable, the situation would be different if he went up against a few demon lords. I think Yi Chun will definitely return safely. When that time comes, I would like to ask Junior Brother to hold a grand welcome party for him. Especially those beauties of yours, wives and concubines of yours. They should all be there to welcome him. The patriarch's taste is really unique. I'll definitely do it. Thank you, Junior Brother. As he said that, the patriarch of hell smiled proudly. At this moment, Yi Chun had arrived at the border of the demon disaster area. The security here was tight, and there were many formations. It would not be easy to leave.